We on a baseline all night. Whoa, what the heck? What are we doing? What are we doing? What going on, everybody? You ain't tired yet, boss? What going on, everybody? Welcome to BucosLocker. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. Don't forget the notification bell icon to notify you all new videos that's posted on the channel. Shout out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. How's everybody weekend been doing? Everybody good? Everybody ready? Ready? Everybody ready? Ready? Everybody ready? Begin. If y'all play football, y'all know what that means, right? Everybody ready? Ready? Everybody ready? Ready? Everybody ready? Begin. Y'all see these games today, man? The game's been pretty good, right? You know, a couple of teams that jumped up on the lead, and I don't know. NFL is a hard game, man. It's not easy being cheesy. It's not easy being cheesy. My legs feel good. It's not easy being cheesy. Well, you know who happy that Lamar Jackson lost, right? A lot of people are happy that he lost the game. Y'all know how this story works. They didn't want to see that man win. A lot of them didn't. You feel me? But at the end of the day, the Ravens didn't play their great game. The Ravens didn't play like they usually play. In my opinion. The Ravens usually play a little bit better than that, but they didn't play well today. You know? They was a little off. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, at the end of the day, I think the Ravens will be back at some point. You know what I'm saying? Marlon, $2 super chat. Is Mahomes already top 5 ever? Close. I mean, well, yeah, you could probably say yeah. I mean, you know, I mean, at this stage, I mean, you can make a great argument. I mean, you feel me? You can make a great argument that Mahomes is top 5 right now. You know, what quarterback is better? It's accomplished more. You know, I mean, who's better than him as far as, I mean, just as a quarterback? I mean, yeah, you can probably, you know, nitpick at Mahomes and say, you know, he's a little bit, you know, backyardish, right? But he's accomplished quite a bit, and he's not even 30 yet. Dan Campbell's really going for it again? What? Dan Campbell is really wilding. He won't kick field goals. He don't like kicking field goals. And he's in certain situations. I understand going for it, but certain situations, man, you just got to kick the field goal, man. What the? a field goal, dang Campbell. What is going? All right, Dan. I get the gutsy play calling, but the decisions. But man, you got to kick that field goal, fam. You got to take the points, man. Mm-mm-mm. I mean, I rock with Dan Campbell. I mean, but this game, he's been a little weird. You know, if he makes these fourth downs, nobody talking. But man, you got to take them points, man. Now they got to hold the Lions. They got to hold the 49ers to a field goal to have a chance to win. You got to take the points, man. Come on, Dan Campbell. He's a Dan Gamble. Look, I want to talk about the Bucs though. You know what I'm saying? Like I know we see some things going on with the Bucs and about the OC situation. You know, this is not about the Lions right now and the Ravens and all that. And you know, which is cool, but let's talk about the Bucs OC situation. It ain't looking too pretty, folks. It ain't looking too pretty, folks. Not looking too pretty, folks. You know what I'm saying? And it's it's the truth. The reality of the situation is not good for the Bucs. What? Man, I need to charge this up, huh? The reality of the situation is not good for the Bucs. You know, what what are the what are the Bucs gonna do at OC, man? Talk to me. I want to know what y'all think about that situation. No Ken Dorsey, no Zach Robinson, no Kellen Moore. Uh, you know, it's one of those situations where I when the season was over for the Bucs, a lot of fans popped out with a bunch of names, but the reality of the situation. Oh, what's up, Buck? With your girl? Come on in. You can come in. Oh, let me send you the link. I'll send you the link. You come on in. Yeah, all these OCs, everybody's calling out. Oh, we gonna get. I gotta hop in line. We gonna get this OC. You know, we gonna know the reality of the situation. Ken Dorsey. So all these OCs, the list of OCs out there right now, the market is what the market is as far as what's available. It's not like I know people say, "Oh, Kellen Moore's not good, Ken Dorsey's not good, Zach Robinson's unknown," but what are you expecting? What are you expecting on the market? These are the top guys on the market. You know, what are you expecting? What are you expecting as far as on the market? People complaining about these guys are not good, but are you gonna get any better? You know, who we gonna get that's better than Dave Canales, or that was just as good, or if not better? Um, I mean, come on, folks. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, nobody. So you mean to tell me none of the OCs that's on the market is not good? None of them. Come on, man. We got to make up our mind, and we can't have this goofiness going on. 49ers going to win. So the downfall for the Lions is the defense too. Dan Campbell and not kicking field goals and the defense. The Lions is cool. The Lions just need some more dogs on defense. That's all. They need more dogs on defense. Yeah, they need more dog on defense.
Hello.
Hey,
What's up? What's up?
gonna have it look. So I see a couple other people. So hold on, Marlon and Mopar, but we're gonna do one at a time today. We're doing one at a time today. Um. So yeah, talk to me.
Well, I just like to say after a couple days, since the whole Dave Canales thing had passed, I had to really think about, the reactions from a lot of Bucks fans. I felt like a lot of them overreacted for the simple fact that we're not really even in the off season yet, so we still have time, to find, OC and everything like that. And ever since then, there's been a lot of interviews that the Bucks have conducted, and even though there are still some offensive coordinators that have taken jobs, there's still plenty out there. So I didn't really understand why Bucks fans were freaking out that much. This off season will be very interesting. Um, I've seen reports, that Baker Mayfield does want to come back, which is, obviously fine because to me, with the whole Baker situation, I know a lot of, fans have their own gripes about him and everything. Um, but to me, it's just like, I feel that if Baker stays and we do get a different OC, because of the work that Thad Lewis and Dave Canales has done with him, would we see a possible regression from how he was this year to the upcoming year? Um, Even if Mike Evans does stay, um, I think that plays a lot into it. I know I've seen a couple of these really pro Kyle Trask fans that are just like, the OC, his OC from I can't think of his name, but I guess he was the OC in Florida when Kyle Trask,
Brian Johnson.
yeah, him when the Gators went to the
Mm-hmm.
you
Yep.
know bowl game and everything, they wanted to
Mm-hmm.
put him in. So it, like I said, it just be very interesting. But I want to make a point to this, and it kind of goes into what you said. I believe it was Thursday when you went live about a lot of people were giving Dave Canales all the credit for Geno Smith's
Mm-hmm.
career. I mean, that his year that he had, right? And not the OC. And so he comes to Tampa, right? All the Bucks fans were about, oh yeah, he's gonna resurrect Baker Mayfield's career, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
statistically, he had a good year.
His best
But
year.
yeah, and surprisingly enough, I've never seen not one Bucks fan commend that Lewis for Baker
See how
Mayfield.
this works? Yeah, see. You see how this works, right?
Yes.
You see how this works. See, this is why I talk about what I talk about because it's easy to pinpoint these things. It's a narrative. It's a narrative. I don't like the narrative that they keep pumping up this. Like I've never heard a fan base until the Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan base. Because prior, and I ain't mean to cut you off. I got to say this too,
No, you're
tag
fine.
along with you because you see where I was going with this. I've never seen a fan base across the entire NFL, and I kind of see everything. I'm a hawk. I'm way up in the sky, and I see everything. I've never seen a fan base, right?
Hmm.
Before Dave Canales got hired, nobody knew about this. No, zero was none of the Bucks fans talking about him. He wasn't on nobody radar. His name pops up. He wasn't the first choice. He wasn't the second choice. He wasn't the third choice. He wasn't the fourth choice. He wasn't the fifth choice. He might have been the sixth or seventh choice. So he gets hired as the OC. Nobody knows nothing, right? Now look at how it starts. Now nobody knows nothing about Dave Canales. Not even other fan bases outside of Seattle. He was not the quarterback coach on the radar and all this, the hot name. He was a nobody, right? So
Hmm.
he gets the job with the Bucs, goes into the season. The first several games didn't look great. It was terrible overall. Had a couple of spot games that it was quarters that was pretty good for Baker. Stuff like that. Then towards then the Bucs went in that 1-6 bull crap. They was on 1-6. You know what I'm saying? They was not winning games, and they were 4-7. Then back into the season, and I can add so much context to this. It is so easy to do this, but you get where I'm going with this. They win some games. They beat the Panthers by 3 points. Okay. They beat the Packers, right? They beat the Jags, right? They lose to the Saints. They beat the Panthers again, right? They beat the Falcons, right? So they go into the playoffs 5-1. Now, during this rise with the Bucs offense, there's a lot of context behind this I can add to it, but to keep it simple, the narrative started being driven. Oh, Dave Canales resurrect Geno Smith's career. I'm like, huh? Well, where is this coming from? Nobody knew about the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? You didn't even know he was a quarterback coach. Now all of a sudden he resurrected Geno Smith's career, and I'm like, well, Geno Smith is I think he was a 10-year. Wait, I think he's like 10-year vet. So it's not like he's a young guy that don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not taking nothing away from Dave Canales as far as a position coach, but the coach that kept getting pushed back to the side to push the narrative for the Bucs was Shane Waldron, the actual guy that got to call the plays for Geno Smith to execute. The guy that's actually calling the plays for Geno Smith to have his career year after 10 seasons. No credit for him. And what bothered me was it's not the fact that they were not giving Shane Waldron the credit or most of the credit, right? They was giving all the credit to Dave Canales. This was Bucs fans were doing because Baker had some good games towards the end of the season. We don't care about the Seattle's OC, which by the way is the new Bears OC. They kept pushing the narrative. It's because of Dave Canales that Geno Smith looked good. I'm like, what? I've never heard of a fan base do that. Not one fan base I've watched from a distance push the narrative because he's the OC for our team. So the previous team that he was on as a position coach, oh, he's the reason why Geno Smith was good. What? So fast forward up until now, I was watching some clips. So I think it was First Take, and I think it was Michael Irvin.
Mm-hmm.
He said something about, and I'll wrap this up for so you can get back in. He said, but Dave Canales is Geno Smith. I'm like, they are running with this BS narrative. That is not true, and none of them have mentioned. Even Bucs fans have not even mentioned Shane Waldron.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, again, when all that came out that Dave is gonna go to, Carolina immediately on Bucs Twitter saying, "Oh, with that Lewis, he can be our OC." Blah blah blah. Now, what I'm about to say, this is in no way, shape, or form any shade to Thad Lewis, okay? But I'm gonna give some of y'all Bucs fans who don't know that, I'm gonna give y'all a run of his career. So Thad Lewis played for Duke. He set
Mm-hmm.
3 records. One of them is for going through a lot of completions without an interception. I believe he set it for passing yards for Duke and everything like that. Unfortunately, that Lewis went undrafted in 2010, and he played on several different teams in the NFL. He only started 6 games. He played 7 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And after I think he retired 2017, he then went to UCLA as an offensive analyst under Chip
Mm-hmm.
Kelly. Okay, so he did 1 year college as an offensive analyst, not an OC, offensive analyst. After that year, he got under the Bill Walsh Fellowship in the NFL. He came to the Bucs in 2020. That same year, we got Tom Brady, went to Super Bowl. So he's been on the team since 2020, but he's always been an assistant wide receivers coach. 1 year, this is his only year, he got promoted to a quarterbacks coach. So, and I'm not saying he probably doesn't have any, experience and he has his own offensive play calling, but to me, if the Bucs are gonna do that, that would have to be their last resort.
Bingo.
Okay, so even all these Bucs fans saying, "Well, he's getting looked at, interviewed for the Raiders teams and this team," I'm like, y'all do know that there's a Rooney Rule in effect, right?
There you go.
So it's not like he's doing so much in a little time that he had in the NFL where people are calling him because they think, and I'm not shading that at all because I don't know the guy. But to me, it's just not enough experience for him to be, you know, you can even look at our wide receiver coach is gonna join uh
Yeah. Chizik.
Canales in
Brad
Carolina.
Chizik. Yep.
Brad Isaac. Like,
Brad Chizik. Yep.
so y'all gotta calm down. No, Bassmaster, we don't have an OC. But again, this is gonna be a process. So we shouldn't all just be like, oh, this guy and this. We don't have to worry, okay? We only time we should be worrying is if we're close to like the team having to do like OTAs or something like that. Like
Mhm.
that's the time we should be worried. But for right now, calm down. It's okay. We're gonna get through this. But y'all gotta stop, man. Y'all really gotta stop with this.
We're and it's so funny when the season was over when all these candidates popped up, and I'm looking at the list, and what's on the market is what's on the market, regardless of how you feel about it. Teams are going to value these guys because they had some success. Now, in particular with Zach Robinson, he came from the Sean McVay tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to Atlanta. Who was just for who did Atlanta just hire?
Raheem Morris.
Right now, where did Raheem Morris? What was his last stop?
With Rams.
Bingo.
Yep.
So don't it make sense for Zach Robinson as a quarterback coach from the Rams to get his first head coach first OC job with a guy that he's been with for the last 4 or 5 years?
Mm-hmm.
So we never had a chance at Zach Robinson. You can kiss that goodbye. Which was I thought was funny when people was mentioning him. I was like, you ain't got no shot at him. Zero shot. He's gonna go. Here's the thing, and I was talking about this with another person. Relationships are huge in professional sports business. Relationships are very important. When you develop a relationship with a guy you've been with for several years, a la Dave Canales and the Panthers GM Dan Morgan, they had a relationship for 7 years in Seattle. Which when he got hired as a GM and Canales' name popped up, then it popped in for the second interview, you understood why he got the head coaching job, because 7 years with a guy you work with, y'all came up through the ranks together. He was on the front office side of it. He left Seattle in 17, 17 going into the 18 season. He went to the Panthers organization and joined their front office in a front office role. Meanwhile, Dave Canales pivot to the receiver coach, to the quarterback coach, and the passing game coordinator, whatever you're going to call it. Then Canales goes to the Bucs after one season. Dan Morgan gets chosen to be the Panthers GM. Dan Tepper probably said, hey, look, go get your guys, your candidates that you want to coach the team, who you feel comfortable with, yada, 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 yada. Dan Campbell, not Dan Campbell, but Dave Canales was probably actually, in my opinion, he was brought up to Dave Tepper, and he probably, and I'm just getting, just throwing it out there. He probably was like, look, I got a relationship with this guy. He's a hard worker, blah, 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 blah. And then, boom, Canales gets hired. And it all makes sense. So Canales leaves, and then Brad Isaac, his name pops up, the Bucs, quarterback coach or receiver coach, the Bucs receiver coach. Now remember, Canales was a receiver coach. Now Brad Isaac and Canales been with each other for quite some time. So you understood when he chose Brad Isaac to be interviewed, you knew he was going to get the OC job. They are cool. Relationships are important. So I tie that into Todd Bowles and all the candidates that you see out there. Who in the hell has a relationship with Todd Bowles?
Yeah, because even the guys that he, had a relationship with, he fired them, last year or this upcoming year? So,
Who has a relationship with Todd Bowles? All those people on that list. So right now, according to the list that a lot of Bucs fans put out, I hate to tell y'all, Bucs fans, we're 0 for 3. 0 for 3. All the names they list, 3 of those guys, you ain't, obviously they picked other teams, and the teams they picked, you understand why. You understand why. So Zach Robinson picks the Falcons. Oh, makes sense. He worked with Raheem Morris. And they got Drake London, Kyle Pitts,
bro, we're not getting Byron Leftwich, bro. Don't do that, please.
Then Oh, then Ken Dorsey got hired by the what was it, the Browns? I think it was. Yeah, I think it was the Browns. I think it was. Um, and then Kellen Moore got hired by the Eagles. So, I mean, did you really think it was? I was not even worried about when I saw the list. I crossed out like several names off that list.
Me too.
I was like, we're not getting those guys.
Like, nah.
And the problem is with Todd Bowles is, and my hashtag for today is the reality of the situation. You got Todd Bowles as your head coach. Who in the hell wants to put their job on the line and coach under Todd Bowles?
And let's not act like most of y'all Bucks fans didn't even want Todd back anyway. So you can only imagine the coaches, the OCs. Lucky enough, we got that win streak and we ended up going to the playoffs. But had that not happened, the OCs, no.
But the problem is his job. His job is not. It's not stable. Like when you look at Todd Bowles' situation for the Bucks, this is why I always ask this question about the Todd Bowles and the Bucks. Where are you going with Todd Bowles and Baker Mayfield? They like these OCs that Kellen Moore has been successful with the Cowboys. Ken Dorsey has some success with Buffalo. Zach Robinson come from the McVay tree, Shanahan tree, because Shanahan first, then McVay, blah blah blah. You get how that goes. So they looking at the situation, and I'm when you're looking for jobs, you looking at the situation and the possible scenarios that you can be in. The scenario under Todd Bowles is not good. Do you understand?
I want to ask you something. It's kind of a two-part question, okay? And I just want you to be honest. Okay. One, do you think that because Dave Canales, came out to me and said he would like to stay in Tampa and he didn't end up staying, do you think it rubbed Baker the wrong way? One. Two, do you think this impacts if Baker wants to stay or not?
So, first part of the question, did it rub Baker the wrong way? I probably did, in my opinion. Because Canales came out obviously and said, "Oh, I would love to stay with the Bucs," blah blah blah. But the opportunity presented itself, and the thing about it, the Bucs didn't block the interview.
Exactly.
They didn't block the interview. They gave him an opportunity to go, and interview twice. Because he got called back for the second interview. They could, I mean, I don't know if they would have blocked it, but they gave him the opportunity to go interview. And some fans, I was listening to some Panthers fans, and could see how they kind of like accepting Dave Canales. It's a mediocre because they don't really know nothing about him, right?
Uh-huh.
Now the second part of your question, how does this affect Baker Mayfield? A lot. I think that's what your second question, right? It was like, how does it affect him? How does it?
Yeah, because this is where I think Bucks fans are kind of getting it mixed up. Is like his statistically success with Tampa, he's going to be 28, 29 years old. His coordinator just left. So, and he has a contract coming up. So, to me, it's like, I don't know if he's going. My biggest worry is that if he gets the new OC and regresses, and then it's just a waste of money anyway. And I don't know. I feel like with him, he may have built that connection with Dave Canales, and if he leaves, he's gonna be like, well, I'm gonna take my chances to go somewhere else. And because I had a good year and I won comeback player of the year, I could still go to a team where I can start and potentially get, the money contract that he was wanting. And that's not even factoring in Mike and Chris and all the weapons he had here. But I don't know.
See, the thing about it is, and you look at the rest of the candidates, Thomas Brown Jr., Brian Johnson, such, etc. So now you're going further and further down the list, right? Gerard Johnson came up. His name came up. Antoine Randall L name came up. See, look how far you got to go down now. You're not going to get the top guys on the market. According to the market, those are the top guys. Those are the guys that are wanted to be OCs because obviously they got jobs. So when you look at the Tampa Bay situation, let's be real. If Baker was this hot shot, top tier, elite, game changing quarterback, don't you think those guys would have took the job?
Yeah.
That's my
And
point.
like I told, the fans earlier in the season, if he was so good, we got him late in free agency.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to factor that in too. But I just sometimes with Bucs fans, I don't really understand their mind frame of thinking. I think they just jump 2 steps ahead instead of taking a step back and being logical. Like, again, we're not even really in the off season yet. Like, there's football still playing. The Super Bowl ain't happened yet.
You know what's so funny? So funny is, it's funny because when they got to the job and people got offended by it and upset. Look, it's not like we lost a top tier OC, man.
Right.
Jesus Christ, man. Like, are you serious? Like, am I complaining that he's left? No, I'm not going to complain because if you look at the offensive rankings, facts over feelings, it's not like he was a world beater. I mean, he had a few games, that were, okay. The Packers game, Jag game, the Eagles game, and all those have caveats. Think about it. All those games that it was like, oh my gosh. Matter of fact, let's break it down. And look, the Bucs won the division. It is what it is. They beat the Eagles. Eagles was beaten. They was done. They were done 7 weeks ago. Like everybody in the NFL, except for a group of Bucs fans, a win is a win. But let's be real. The Eagles were battered and bruised, and before they got to us, they were done. Everybody in the NFL saw it. If you were a Bucs fan and you jumping up and down, beating a battered, messed up locker room Eagles team, kudos to you. But from a football perspective, the entire NFL, except for you, or for you that fall under that umbrella, think it was a hum-ho-dilly-hee victory. Okay? And then you beat the Panthers the week before, 9-0. Wasn't nobody jumping up and down for that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, then the week before, we lost to the Saints, 23-13. Wasn't nobody jumping up and down for that. You see what I'm saying? Oh, and then the week before that, we beat the Packers, right?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we beat the Packers. Okay. And then before that, you beat the Jags. And we saw the Jags fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
Fell apart towards the back. I even said it. I don't think the Jags win another game. They fell apart. And then before that game, you played, I think it was the Panthers, and you beat them 21-18. So what are we really jumping up and down for because he left? He left because he had an opportunity to take a job. Kudos to Dave Canales for taking the opportunity. Now, is it a great situation? No. You know what I'm saying?
6 years. I was like, what the freak?
But the thing about it is, they're going to, like, when I look at these type of contracts, even for coaches, 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
2 or 3 years. And the people that was jumping up and down because Dave Canales left, now you about to, and I think he's going to probably call plays for the most part, right? So now we're going to see what are we missing? It's not like we missing this significant play caller. Now, imagine this was his first year, but I don't know why people are upset. Don't get mad that he left.
We ain't win the Super Bowl with him.
No, we backed in to the playoffs. Look, our division's terrible, right? We won the division with 9 games. We don't go anywhere in any other division. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing?
Hold on, I want to address this in the chat. Can you put him up next to Quan Julius? Because he got a whole bunch to say. We're not even really talking about Baker Mayfield. We're talking about the OC, okay?
I'm talking about this guy right here?
Yeah.
I mean, look. So, matter of fact, let's get back to the topic, right? The OC situation. So when you look at the Bucs OC situation, it's not going to be the cream of the crop. According to the market, it's not going to be the cream of the crop because the market sets itself. You got the top guys, you got the mid-level guys, and then you got the guys that's looking for something to work with. Ranchon Randall L, the Thaddeus Lewis, the guys that are not really qualified to be an OC right now. And nobody talked about Thaddeus Lewis.
Exactly.
Until
as soon as Dave leave, I'm like, what are you talking about? Y'all
Jumping up and down.
y'all didn't give that man no credit none this year for nothing.
Zero.
Y'all gave it to Dave.
Think about this.
Stop
The
it.
same credit you give Dave Canales for Geno Smith's career, can we give Thaddeus Lewis the same credit for Baker Mayfield's resurgence? I haven't heard any Bucs fan do that.
They probably don't even know who Thad Lewis is. They just following the name.
Some of these Bucs fans, not all, some, they make this too easy. It's so easy to spot out the BS narrative. Look, if Baker's your guy, have at it, right?
Exactly.
Like I said, there's nothing wrong with that. But don't push this narrative like, oh, the same energy that you gave Canales at Seattle. I haven't heard one Bug fan scream Thaddeus Lewis is the reason why Baker Mayfield has a career resurgence. You can't have it both ways, some of you Bucs fans. You can't do that. That's hypocrisy. Like, what are you doing? What are we? This is what I'm saying. You can't be mad. I want to reiterate this. You can't be mad that Canales took that job.
Exactly.
Even if you read the energy or read the room around the NFL chat rooms, fan bases, talking points around social media, YouTube, whatever. The day Canales was ahead, that the hire was a head scratcher for a lot of people. A ton of people, fans, mid-level analysts, high level. Everyone was like, well, that he wasn't the best candidate. He was not the best candidate on the market according to the other guys. But you want to know why he got the job? It wasn't about what he's accomplished. It was about who you know. Goes back to the relationship thing I was telling you about. This is how business work. You can have, I don't know if people work with these type of people. You wonder sometimes, like, how did he get this job? Or how did she get the job? What you think? She had a connection. Her mom or his dad was cool with the supervisor. You see how this works?
Yep.
That's how it works. He was not the most qualified guy to get the Panthers head coaching job. There were better candidates. But he had a great relationship with Dan Morgan. That's why he got the job. He didn't get the job because, he resurged Baker Mayfield's career. What? You talking about the Baker Mayfield that has never shown any consistency in his career?
In his career.
In his entire career. Even when he was with Cleveland, a top 5 run game, a top 5 O-line with 3 Pro Bowlers, a decent tight end group, and a decent receiver group. He never threw 4,000 yards until this year. 4,044 yards in 17 games.
And how long he been in the league?
I think it's going on 7, 8 years almost, something like that.
Wow.
So what? And I seen somebody early in the chat mention, and fellas, I'll bring y'all in a second. Hold on a second. I want to talk to Bucket with Gerald 101, as I like her dialogue too. So here's the thing about the Bucs in Baker Mayfield's situation. You got 2 paths here in this particular situation. Whatever OC you get, he has to learn. Because think about it. This is not going to be an OC that's similar to Dave Canales or whatever. Every OC have their philosophy and what they came up under as far as their offensive philosophy. You can go down the list of guys. Well, it goes back to what I was saying earlier about the relationship. So Todd Bowles is right now, and Jason Light and his minions are looking like we got to find somebody. Because you don't find somebody specifically for Baker Mayfield. Right? Because he got to learn a new playbook. So the Bucs are in a weird. I love you. The Bucs are in a weird situation because Talladega Nights. I'm on fire. No, you're not. So and the reason why I use that part right there, the Bucs. I hope they're not thinking they're contenders with Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles. I don't like the combination because the combination has a ceiling.
They do.
You're not going to where the 49ers and Lions. You're not going in that direction. I think the Bucs overachieved. They topped off with those two. That's it.
It's like average to me. Like when you say that, I just think average.
This is the best Todd Bowles you're gonna get.
I don't think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, when you say those names, like they're just average to me. You know what
Like
I'm
when you look at the combinations around the league, you're not jumping up and down for we're going somewhere. Look, we can win 8, 9, maybe 10 games. Cool, but where are we going? We're going to be stuck in the middle. We don't have a high ceiling with those two. So my point is, in the OC situation, it makes it even worse.
Mm-hmm. And like they said, even you can even go back to Rob Gronkowski. If you try to put Baker in a system instead of just letting him play to his strengths, he's gonna struggle. So you also gotta think about, okay, like you said, what kind of OC are they gonna get? Are they just gonna be like, no, Baker, you just have to fit into this system?
Another OC, another playbook he got to learn. Now, this does not just apply to Baker Mayfield. This applies to any quarterback, because you can take any quarterback in that situation and say, well, damn, he don't have eight OCs or possible, not to be eight, but some of them had 5. Some of them had 6 OCs. Some of them have 7 OCs. This is not just a Baker thing. There's a multitude of quarterbacks that had to work with multiple OCs. It happens. But the unfortunate part is, the more terminology you get a part of, you can come information overload. You know what I'm saying? It can become an information overload, because Baker's smart. Of course he's smart because he can learn offenses, but there's going to be limitations. If you don't have a guy that you can build with, this is why I'm going to make this great point about I'm talking about a little football knowledge here. I'm going to make this great point when it comes to building a team, having continuity. All these things matter, and having a clear direction. The problem with Baker Mayfield and Todd Bowles is there is no clear direction. There is no clear path. We're going to the NFC Championship. I even heard some Bucs fans say today, the woulda, shoulda, couldas, the Marvel's what if, the multiverse. If the Bucs would have did that, we would have beat the 49ers. What are we doing? The reality of the situation is the Bucs are where they at now, and they're in a hamster wheel. You have limitations with Todd Bowles and Baker Mayfield, and you put those two together, you're capped. The smart thing to do in these type of situations, because the Bucs don't know if they want to rebuild or if they still can quote unquote contenders. If Todd Bowles have any brain, he would literally look at the situation and be like, okay, where am I going? Do you go get a young quarterback, keep him on a rookie contract, and get the OC and tag the OC with the rookie quarterback? That's one option. Or the other option, you go find an OC and stick Baker Mayfield and the OC together, who don't have a background together, and see how that turn out. You gonna put your money on that?
Yeah, the draft is gonna be interesting too. Oh, it's just gonna be an interesting year.
It's just funny how when you don't sit back and take a look at the situation for what it is, you can get your judgment can be cloudy, right? And the Bucs have options, but the problem is, option number 1 says new OC, new quarterback, and don't pay 30 million. I gotta talk about this. My brother brought this up, and this ties into the OC situation. Baker Mayfield's gonna have a ton of suitors. Really? Big contract. Okay, so let's go down to teams. Let's go down to teams that are going to cut Baker Mayfield a big contract. So I'm gonna kick this off right here. So I'm gonna go down the list, and you tell me, Bucket, with your girl. You tell me, will this team cut Baker Mayfield a big contract? These suitors that are going to cut Baker Mayfield this big, huge contract. I say this before I go down this list. The Bucs are bidding against themselves for Baker Mayfield. They're not bidding with nobody for Baker Mayfield, in my opinion. So let's go down the list. And Bucket, with your girl, work with me on this.
Okay.
Patriots. With Gerard Mayo. They just got Gerard Mayo as the head coach. Patriots and Baker Mayfield. What you think?
No.
Okay. Why?
And well, new head coach, not OC, right?
There's a new head coach.
New head coach. I don't think so, on the fact that certainty with that team, and they, I don't know. It's just a lot of question marks going on over.
Well, I'm
Wait,
gonna
wait,
jump
wait, wait,
in on
wait,
that.
wait.
I don't
Let me
feel
finish with
like
Bucket with your girl.
I don't feel like they have enough weapons for him to work with. Even with a coming draft, I just don't think he'd be wanting to do that.
So no big contract there. Okay, cool.
Nope.
Next, the Vikings. Kevin
No.
O'Connell.
No.
Why?
No. Well, they got how much they got in cap?
They got some money to work with the Kirk Cousins situation, and they got some money, but Kevin O'Connell, Baker Mayfield. Now there is a background there because Kevin O'Connell came from the McVay tree. He was a quarterback coach at the Rams, so that's a possibility. But do you think the Vikings would pay Baker Mayfield $30-something million?
No,
They just got rid of Kirk Cousins. Well, not got rid of him, but just Kirk Cousins' contract's up, and they've been paying him a ton of money, right?
yeah.
So why would they cut Baker Mayfield a $30+ million contract?
No.
Okay, next team, Steelers.
No. Well, didn't they hired a new OC, didn't they?
Yeah,
They haven't. Who did they hire?
they got a new OC.
Who's the new OC in Pittsburgh?
It was I was just looking at this whole list. I'm switching up my little phone here, but I'm gonna pull it back up. Hold on a second.
I'm gonna say the first two teams you said they got top 10 picks.
I didn't even get to that part.
Yeah.
It was
I didn't even know they hired a OC in Pittsburgh.
so they hired it was Zach. Well, no, I thought it was Zach Robinson.
No, that he going to the Falcons.
Going to the Falcons. No, it was I got it mixed up. So the Steelers still looking for OC. So Mike Tomlin, Baker Mayfield. They just drafted Kenny Pickett. They got Mason Rudolph, and they played against Baker Mayfield when he was with the Browns. So you think they jumped up and down for Baker Mayfield?
No.
Oh, okay. So that's 3 teams. Next team, Atlanta Falcons.
That one I'm gonna say yeah.
I don't think so.
You could, it's 50-50.
Yeah, that one with the Zach Robinson. That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
He played with the Rams for what, 5 games? I believe it was like 5 games, and it was 1-4, by the way. He had that one, his first game back. It was, oh my gosh, Baker Mayfield. He played really well.
What they got, but
and then the next 4 games, it was what the hell is this? But my point is, that can be a possibility. But Raheem, I think, don't you think Raheem kind of want to, you know what I'm saying? You want a young quarterback. You know what I'm saying? You want to grow with a young quarterback.
Do they pick top 10 in the draft?
They top 10, but if they want a quarterback, they're gonna have to. In my opinion, they have to trade up.
Next team, the Raiders.
Oh no.
Oh,
I don't think him and Josh McDaniels would even.
No, and Antonio Pierce.
That's Antonio Pierce.
Antonio Pierce.
Okay, so and they had Jimmy G. They like, nah, they pay Jimmy G some bread, so they're like, no, we good.
Yeah.
Okay, next team, the Commanders.
Oh
no, second pick. That's definitely out of the question.
Oh, okay. Matter of fact, Seattle, they can make a decision on Geno Smith.
No, they still got old boy sitting behind them.
Drew Lock. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Possibility the Bears.
Nah, they still.
Oh. So, in summary, where is this?
Didn't the Bears hire Cliff Kingsbury as their OC?
Now they talking. Okay. So Baker. So where's this bunch of suitors lining up? Oh, I'm saying Broncos. I forgot Broncos. Sean Payton and Baker Mayfield.
No.
Wilson's still there. He ain't been cut yet, so you can't say nothing.
And they pay him all that big money.
Now, mind you, on both sides, Baker looking for a contract, and all these teams I named. Where is the line of people or the line of owners and head coaches to sign Baker Mayfield for $30-something million? Where's all these suitors? Where did that narrative come from?
From his agent.
Oh, my bad. The Bears did hire Shane Waldron as the OC, the former Seattle OC. The Bears hired Shane Waldron. My bad. So where's all this talk about suitors and he's going to be there? Some teams are going to try to get him a big. Who? We went through several teams and we all got legit reasons why. No.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bunch of suitors. It's a few, but it ain't a bunch.
The Bucs are bidding against themselves for Baker Mayfield. The Bucs are, in my opinion, when you look at the scenario, when you look at the landscape, they have complete control of what they pay Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point I'm making. So I don't believe this BS narrative of a bunch of teams are lining up to sign a guy that has never shown consistency in his entire career, and you're going to cut him a big check.
Tampa
I think it ties in with the Canales thing.
What other teams?
No, I don't disagree with you, but I have noticed. But I have noticed since he signed since he's went to Carolina, he's resurrected a bunch of quarterbacks. Yeah. Oh yeah. He has a whole new narrative with him now.
And we don't know what these teams thinking, but just from a business perspective, if I'm looking at a product, in particular a quarterback, if I'm going to pay a quarterback, and I'm pretty sure they got some guys in the front office that can think like this, right? I can't be the only one for a regular fan at my level. Baker Mayfield, $30-something million, no consistency in his career. His highest career, his best career was just recently after 7-8 years into the season to the league. You look at the tape, look at the numbers. Where's the consistency? You think I'm going to give this man a 3-year, $90 million, $110 million? No. You got to at least have some consistency to be even considered. So before people say, well, Daniel Jones got paid, the Giants are idiots.
And you see, they own player came out, didn't even have paid Daniel Jones. They should have paid
him. Nobody was going to pay Daniel Jones. The same thing about Bucs when it comes to Baker.
Still may take a quarterback.
Nobody's paying. Let me regress. I digress. Baker Mayfield, these suitors, these ton of people that's going to pay him a ton of money. I don't believe that hype, man. Don't believe the hype, man.
No, that's your Nick Wright. Like I said, I think it's a few teams, but it's not a bunch of suitors.
Baker team, nobody else but his agent and his team. That's it.
But even in the chat, Tampa Bay sports fan said Mayfield can go to the Jets. How they got Aaron Rodgers over there and they pay him all that money?
Oh my gosh, man! It just
bucking with your girl. You left off something about the Thad Lewis. You know, that's supposed to be BA's protege.
Yeah,
so he did say he was brilliant and he'll be an up and coming play caller.
Well, he said that staff members, even Todd.
Yeah.
But I'm sorry.
There's one thing I just want to jump in on what they were talking about. That's what I was waiting on with the OC situation. Two things. This is also a reason why teams do not like defensive coaches. Because you always get plucked of this is going to be his third OC now. So we're going to go through this again, as long as we got him as head coach. Every time we have an OC that looks good under the defensive coordinator, they want to pluck him from the team. Next, Todd Bowles don't want to get someone in here that wants to remove his staff neither. That's another thing. Typically, an OC would bring people in, the wide receiver coaches and all of that. Todd Bowles is not going to do that. He's not going to allow somebody to come in and just strip his staff down. So that leaves Thad Lewis and Thad Lewis only.
But that's what I was saying. If with that would have to be like a last resort decision. But
it was for the Panthers.
Yeah,
it was for the Panthers.
It's like I said, it's just, to me, it's just very questioning because, I mean, let's just say if Baker did leave, right, and they did want to draft, you have, and I'm not saying this is how I present it, but you have, those Kyle Trask fans who are just like, yeah, well, we can get the OC that he had in Florida, and he can start even if you do draft, another quarterback.
Boy from the Eagles.
See, look, hold on, look. See, I don't know if he just got here, but we just went through this. We just laid out the scenarios, man. Literally just laid out the scenarios, man.
You're late.
I
don't know if he just got here.
The Cardinals, they ain't moving off Kyler Murray with that contract.
Here's the problem with that.
Justification.
Two of those teams is a top 5. The they're top 5. Like these people literally are gonna have a go at Drake May or Caleb, depending on how the Bears want to play.
Michael Penix, people just like yeah. Look, I get it. Baker's your guy.
No, they in the top 5. These ones right here is in the top 5.
Jets don't have first round, do you?
I get it.
No, I said the Commanders in Arizona.
I get it. T-Bray fan 2008. I get it, buddy. You trying to find him a spot. You throwing teams out there, and we literally went through these teams. Commanders got a new coach. The Jets with Robert Saleh, you think he gonna trust Baker Mayfield? No, he got Aaron Rodgers. You think Baker want to sit? You think Baker Mayfield after his career season want to go sit behind Aaron Rodgers? No. Arizona Cardinals got a bunch of money tied in the Kyler Murray. They played him this past season, so you got to think that they're gonna probably roll with him one more season. The Atlanta Falcons, Raheem Morris, you really think they're gonna tie a bunch of money, $30-something million into a guy that's once again never shown consistency? That is an asinine move for any organization to do. The only organization that I believe that's going to sign Baker Mayfield, the number one, the only one in my opinion, is the Tampa Bay Bucs. That's my point I'm trying to make. The Tampa Bay Bucs are bidding against themselves.
Yeah.
And you ain't got to sign him early, re-sign him early.
You can literally let him test the market. Literally.
That's what I would do.
There's no rush. Oh, we got to sign. Hurry up because we got a bunch of teams trying to sign Baker Mayfield. Okay.
But do you think in this case, we have to get another OC? Would it just make sense to go with a younger quarterback and groom him?
That's an option. I'm not saying that they should do it or they should do it. They shouldn't do it.
I mean,
but that is the option they need to consider. They need to consider that.
They have to. The glaciers got to come down. This is where the glaciers got to come down from the press box. They got to come down and literally say, "What are we doing with the franchise?" Like we've been saying, we are in a hamster wheel. When it comes to what we put on the field, okay, we might can squeeze out 10 wins. You know, things bounce the right way. Next season, I don't know, because we got a very hard schedule next season.
The OC situation just jacked up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you also look at it like this with Bowles, who he wants to hire, is he looking at like, if I hire him, is he eventually going to overtake me and take over the job? Would they get rid of me and elevate him? Do you think that's in the back of his head when he looks at an OC?
Well, what he should do, if he's worried about that, his mind is not focused on the right things. Because if you're too busy trying to look in the back of you,
I'm just throwing that scenario out there. I'm not saying he's.
I get what Big Buck's saying, because I'm gonna be honest. Jason Light would also be thinking that way too. You don't want no one to come in that building that's going to be potentially threatening your seat at all.
I mean, we just said you went through, this is third year. You don't went to this is your third OC in 3 years.
It's going to happen the next year. If he picks another dude, and let's say we get to the divisional round, this is why teams don't like defensive head coaches. Your OC normally is going to get plucked off your team, and he's going to go somewhere else. And you can't block that legally in the NFL. You only can block, OC to OC. You can't block an OC to a head coach. So you can't stop that from happening.
I mean, the hot thing to pull from is the Shanahan tree. And it seems like every time they go and just have a good year, boom, they the front runners for any head coaching position that comes available, with or without experience.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I'm not in that situation. I am curious to see where this goes, like who they hire as the OC and what's the direction of the franchise going forward. I mean, it's like I said, you don't have to rush to pay Baker because they're the only ones out there saying pay him. Because if he gets paid early, that's going to be the maximum amount. You pay him late, he really going to be on a small contract. And I'm like BucosLocker said, Bucs are bidding against themselves, and I just hope they realize that.
If you want to blow this thing up, go ahead and tap and hit the table and beat on your chest for Kellen Moore. Because if he come in here,
Kellen Moore got hired by the Eagles.
The Eagles hired him.
He just got hired. Oh, okay. Because I seen he was coming out here and interview. Because I said, he's gonna make Baker look like this.
Bad. You got the top OCs, right? I don't care what anybody say when it comes to he sucks and this and that. According to the market, these are the top guys. Dorsey, Moore, whatever, Zach Robinson, whatever, whatever. That's what's available. So you gotta fit them in tiers, right? That's what's
Dorsey get hired too. I thought didn't Dorsey get a job too?
Yeah, Dorsey got a job.
Ken Dorsey, yep.
So you got to rate these guys on how franchises see them. So obviously the top guys are coming off the market. The Dorsey, the Kellen Moore, the Zach Robinson coming from the McVay, Shanahan tree. These guys are coming off the market. Why? Because those teams view them. These are the guys we want. You think they're jumping up and down for Thaddeus Lewis?
Quick question: Is
Come
Bowles
on, fellas.
is Bowles under
come here.
contract? Is Bowles still under contract, yo?
Yeah. You got a couple of years.
Yeah, he got what, a 4-year deal?
5 year.
5 years? Okay.
I mean, didn't we fire 2 coaches after they had winning seasons? Like 20, 30 days after the season?
That was Gruden. They fired him like a month after.
Gruden and Dungy, if I'm not mistaken. We had
Dungy got kicked after that playoff loss against the Eagles.
All I'm saying is this: if you are sitting at the top of, looking down at your organization, you don't want to go through this every year. At some point in time, you're gonna have to make a decision. I hate the fact we mirror the Saints. We literally mirror the Saints with the coaching problem. We literally mirror them. So, I mean, listen, I like Bowles, but at what point do you say, okay, maybe we need to get something else in here? Because I mean, they can open the checkbook. You still got people playing. I don't know. It could just be me thinking, outside the box. But if Thad Lewis and some quarterbacks coach is going to be your OC, or whatever the case may be, with the schedule we got next year, 4, 5, 6 wins. Just rip the Band-Aid now. Just rip it off now if that's the case. I like Bowles, but like you say, the ceiling ain't. Come on, bro. We're not threatening no teams. We're not threatening nobody. We're not going to be favorites to go to deep in the playoffs. None of that.
What are we doing?
Great at the question. What are we doing?
Where are we going? Where are we going? Like, I don't understand. The Bucs need a clear direction, and I don't see that right now. They had a good rookie class in 2023. Okay, so I can see that from a standpoint of you trying to adjust the roster. Kind of you went younger. You're like the seventh youngest team in the NFL, and now you coming into the season kind of in the same scenario. Okay, you got too many question marks. On top, now we're not even talking about the roster because we're not even going to do that right now. That'll be a separate video. We're just talking about the coaching staff, specifically in the OC situation. It was already, we had question marks with Todd Bowles and David Canales, and David Canales took the job, and we got questions with the roster. Okay, so we jump into the coaching part of it. The monkey wrench got thrown in there. So what we would like to see, what we would have liked to see in the second year with Baker Mayfield and Dave Canales, then if that was the case, if he would have never took the job, of course that would have been a surefire. Okay, we got some continuity here. We're gonna build from what they just came off of, right? There's some room to grow. But this throws off the entire direction. So my mindset was, okay, second year improvement, okay, cool. But now it basically made me take a couple steps back and be like, check me out. What? Like, oh man, like this ain't good.
It's bad. It makes you now. It does make you now also. Damn, the OC. Do we need to address the head coach? Because, like I said, that is the reason for the hamster wheel, for the actual hamster wheel. If we're being honest, Bowles is the common denominator on that hamster wheel. I appreciate it, but I'm gonna be honest. As a fan, I don't want to have this underdog title year in, and I don't care for that, man.
Yeah.
I don't care that like that. That's not. Yeah, they counted us out. Like that's not the vibe. Okay, it worked this year. Cool. It would have been great if you won the Super Bowl with that. That would have been great. But next year, like, come on, man, we gonna be ranked behind the Saints or something maybe for the division. We gonna have that mindset again as a team. Like, come on, man. No, all that nobody believed in the Bucs. Listen, bro, get somebody in here that will make people be like, hey, it's a team in the NFC South that's a problem.
Right. Jack's Law in the chat. This is not that type of locker room, sir. We actually talk about football. You gotta take that somewhere else. But
what are you talking about?
Gosh, I don't know what he's talking about. He talking about some girl he saw at the store, something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But it's just a situation where the Bucks are in, man. It's just like, yeah, unfortunately, and this is unfortunate for the Bucks because you can kind of see, you saw the dirt turning into some grass, right?
Mhm.
And it went from kind of a grassy growing, some new seeds to what, like, we got to what they call it? They got to
regroup.
not regroup, but far as when it comes to grass, I forgot what it's called when it comes to the lawn industry, right? Somebody, if anybody familiar with that terminology, reground it's not something like that, right? You got to get that machine and dig up the dirt, and kind of like resurface the ground or whatever. It's like we done took 2 steps forward and 3 steps back with the Dave Canales taking the head coaching job for the Panthers. And now here's the bigger picture. Now Dave Canales, who was just on the Bucs, is the head coach for the Carolina Panthers, and who are in our division. Raheem Morris, former Bucs head coach, is in the division. Then you got Dennis Allen. So you see what the Falcons and Panthers doing. You clearly see what they're doing.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
There's no
Oh yeah.
with the Bucs
Allen
or
so tough.
Saints.
You saw what
Like,
Dave
see, this is what I'm
Canales
saying.
said.
These
You
two
saw.
teams,
What he say?
these two teams are so mirrored. Like the Saints and the Bucs, they're so mirrored. Like, and that's why I tell y'all the Dennis Allen, Todd Bowles are literally like they night and night, not night and day, night and night.
He said
Like, they're the
he gonna
same.
root for us for 15. He said, I love the Bucks, appreciate the opportunity. I will be rooting for y'all 15 weeks out of the season.
I just find this so weird. It's like, why can't the Bucs just get the Saints have a cloudy future? The
I
Bucs
almost
do
feel
too.
like he knew he was gonna. I almost feel like that some of these things, like you kind of have conversations with people. I kind of feel like Dan Morgan and what's the guy over there, Temper, kind of already had conversations. You
I mean, it
know
was a
where
dead giveaway because who really was gonna go take that job in
No,
Carolina?
I'm saying before Dave Canales even showed, these guys sit around and like he said, the relationships, right?
Right.
I just feel like what better way to do to come over here, infiltrate our locker room. You didn't learn that defense and all this and that. That team is on the ground up. From they gave the man 6 years, so they really not kicking him out no time soon. Now our defense. It just to me, I feel like that was quick, that was fast. I already knew Izzy was gone. I told Panther fans, yeah, be looking for him in the next 48 to 72 hours. Trust me.
And if you look at it, they already have a defense. They just need an offense. Really?
Yeah, well, yeah.
They went all defense in a draft, like what I was saying the Bucs should do. But I mean, this OC hire is just really. I think the hire is really just going to tell you what the direction the Bucs are going to go. I think the hire will tell you all we need to know at this point.
Or the fire. Or the fire. I would love. I mean, listen. I'm like I said. I appreciate Bowles, but man, this league. How many defensive coaches are in the league right now that's like head coaches, full-blown defensive head coaches? Besides Andy Reid, he's an anomaly. He's something totally different. But successful defensive-minded coaches in the league right now. Ain't but a few of them won the Super Bowl, and I believe Andy Reid and Bill Belichick. And no boy from the Steelers.
That's the only defensive-minded coach that I can think of that's with success right now. But
as of right now, it's just Andy Reid as of right now.
And Reid always been an offensive-minded guy.
I thought his Philly days.
He under the Holmgren tree.
Yeah.
He's OC all those years.
Okay, so as of right now, no one then.
I mean, that's just the way the league has shifted. It's got to be an offensive-minded guy at the top.
And I need a question answer too. What's going on? The whole Panthers fan base feels that Evans will be in a Panthers uniform.
No. That's a whole other conversation. No, gonna stick.
What I was gonna say? What is going on with that? That ain't. I thought it was a rumor, but it's.
That's a whole different conversation. I'm gonna make another video. I had some time tonight because I'm kind of ahead on a little homework. But I want to make a separate video because I got a chance to look at some because I wanted to get the check on the Panthers fan base on the Canales hire, and they brought some stuff up, but I want to make that another conversation. That's a whole different.
Okay, all right, yeah, man. Because
I want to stick to the OT situation. So in all, when it comes to Dave Canales and his decision to go to the Panthers, our division, a division opponent, we see him twice a year, so he's going to have all the information about the Bucs. So
that's why I said it looks a little. I'm agree with Sal on the snake oil. You. That's why I feel like him and Dan Morgan, they just had to know before the season that this is where the road would end with them being in Charlotte together. Because it just boom, 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 boom. This wasn't no. Let me think about it. No loyalty. Let me see. No automatic. We good to go. Paperwork signed.
I mean, but you can't knock the. I mean, I get what you're saying, but you don't think the man just cashing in while he's hot? Like, I mean, that's a hell of a come up in 3 years.
No. You take the job. It's 32 of them. I do agree, but I'm just saying to the point though where I just feel like these conversations. These are billionaires that run these organizations. They shake hands. They have brunches. All of that. Things come up. Dan Morgan, if you follow his or did a little research on him, he has jumped the ladder quick. Starting over there with, involved in the Legion of Boom defense. He jumped up mighty quick. So I just feel like people knew his name. There was a big possibility you was going to go over there. You're best friends with Dave Canales. Like he just said, we played this man 2 times now. You know our defense. You have learned how to scheme offenses around the defense that you've practiced against for a whole season.
Yeah.
When you look at this decision for the decision that the effect of Dave Canales leaving, and I'm gonna reiterate what I said earlier. You can't be mad at it because the opportunity was there, the relationship was already built. So I get that part from a business perspective, but the effects of the Bucs, because a lot of people was kind of excited to see the next step for Baker Mayfield and Canales, the progression, right? They can clean up some things, whatever the case may be, but nobody really expected, because when this was brought up, he ain't going nowhere. Well, the reality of the situation.
Yeah, it was shocking.
The reality of the situation, it happened, right? Just like we didn't think that the Bucs was going to get a Monday Night Football game. Well, the reality of the situation, it happened. So it shocked a lot of people. So a lot of Bucs fans are upset and they're in their feelings and they're not thinking with a clear football mind. They're just saying all kind of stuff now. It's like, what? Now you hate the guy now?
And let me say this. We increased our point total by 3 points, and people think we had like this world announced OC. Did y'all also forget that we had the best kicker in the league? I'm just gonna put that out though. I mean, them 3 points, you can say, well, Dave Canales' offense did that. I mean, I'm just gonna put it on the kicker. I can see if we jumped up 6 points or more, but we also had a pretty damn good kicker that wasn't missing any kicks until
Last week
playoffs. So I'm just gonna put that out though. Yeah, Baker Mayfield threw for 4,000 yards. Whoop, that's cool. Evans had exactly. Evans had his almost career season and this and that, and that's cool. That's great. That still was mid-tier. We were not a top 5 scoring offense, top 10, none of that. That stuff was shaky at best, man. That's why we went on a losing streak and couldn't score any points against the Panthers. And they want to say, well, we got a top 3 defense. That's cool. But at some point, you still got to know how to adjust and score some type of points, bro. So I don't want to hear it.
And looking at Dave Canales, I don't know if any. I think more people want to get in. Let me see if anybody that wanted to jump in the locker room. The link is in the chat. I forgot to put it in there consistently. My bad. So click on the link if you want to join the locker room discussion. So going back to Canales, and I can go down the statistics, and they match up with what does your eyes tell you with Dave Canales, right? Now, a lot of us, and I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna emphasize that in caps. A lot of us will be paying attention to Dave Canales with Bryce Young. Now, we got to understand this. Let me be the first to say this from a football mind perspective. If you laugh at Dave Canales in Carolina with Bryce Young, you're an idiot. Did you not see what the Panthers look like? They're not even. They didn't even have the offense built for Bryce Young. They were a running team. And they went to this smallish quarterback, barely bigger than me, and say, we're going to put him in the shotgun because he can't see. And we're going to kind of try to make him throw the ball. It don't work. So Canales got some work ahead for him. But I guarantee you, Bucs fans are going to make these slick comments about him. Oh, I knew it. He's terrible. Man, look, he was okay with us at best. But to try to sugar honey iced tea on him with the worst team in the NFL, going to the worst team in the NFL, that's asinine.
Listen, he literally could win 4 games, and he looks like the best hire of the offseason since they went. Like, the ceiling is so low, there's really not much. You can't fail there. So, no, we're not going. He's an op. You are an op now. We do want to beat your team, but yeah, the laughing and cracking jokes, and they won 2 games. So,
it's like we gotta understand. Look, because I'm gonna pay attention because especially when he play us, I'm like, what is it? Like, say Baker Mayfield's the quarterback, and that's don't get me wrong. The Carolina Panthers, they got some defensive pieces. We clearly know that.
Oh yeah,
we clearly know that. So he just got to tighten that offense up, right? So do you expect to see some improvement with Bryce Young? Sure, right? Because what we can't do is we can't discredit Dave Canales totally, but what you can't do is give him all the credit for Geno Smith and all the credit for Baker Mayfield.
One thing about Canales, I know what he's going. He's pretty good. What he did with Baker, he took the turnover-worthy plays out of the offense, out of the quarterback's hands.
You sure about that?
Yeah, like
you sure about that? What I mean? You sure about that?
Turnover-worthy plays. Baker didn't. That's why he only had 1 game where he had multiple interceptions. He didn't make a lot of
multiple games with multiple turnover-worthy plays.
No, he did not. He had one game when he had multiple interceptions. Is what I'm saying.
Let me ask you a question. So how many drop picks?
Come on, that's conjecture. Hey, the stat is the stat.
I'm asking because we do that to other quarterbacks.
Interceptions.
We do that to other quarterbacks, right?
I don't.
No, and I say we. It's not like because you. I get what you're saying, but come on, man. We see this.
But I'm saying.
This all the time.
But we've dropped touchdown passes too. We dropped first down catches too. We've had interceptions. We've had interceptions that touch the receiver's hands.
But that's the point.
And they go to the other team.
Because that's a conversation across the league, high level, mid level, and our level. That comes up. That's a conversation. That's not like it's not taboo.
Yeah, but I'm saying the reason why you can't.
You can't.
The reason why there has to be conjecture is because
you can do it.
Okay, so he threw 10 statistically, right? How many of those 10 came off a receiver's hands? See now we're going to take some of those 10 off, and then we're going to add more on the ones that would drop. Okay, so we can do that. So what he's going to end up with 12, 13? Okay, fine.
That applies. What you're saying applies to every quarterback, not just Baker.
Yeah. That's why I don't do that. That's why I don't say, oh well. How many
people? That's what I'm saying. People do that. But my point is it's a conversation. It's a legit conversation. Like people.
Yeah, they did it with Winston. They said like, how many picks went to Mike Evans.
We can't have. There can't be an exception to the rule. Well, not for Baker. No, everybody.
No, I'm saying turnover-worthy throws were not in this offense, and that's what I'm saying he's going to do for Bryce Young. Like, think about that lull we had in the middle of the year when we was losing all those games. We weren't pushing the ball down the field. He was taking sacks. He was going with his first read. He wasn't letting the ball go. We were one of the worst teams in the league offensively at that time because it's just like the progression of the passes weren't like this is an extreme example, but like risky, no biscuit, where those were, hey, we letting the
people
ball
didn't care
fly.
about that. They didn't care about it was no risky, no biscuit. He threw the pick. Forget the offensive philosophy.
I'm talking
They
about
didn't care about
that's
that.
what I'm talking about.
They didn't care about that. They didn't care about the terrible offensive philosophy. It was the player. They didn't like the player.
No, I'm saying I'm not. What I'm saying is what Canales.
I get what he's saying. He
Bryce
try to
Young.
make the throw. He try to make the throws easier. Here's the problem, though.
I'm just telling him. I'm just showing him like it's the narrative.
Here's the problem where
you're
gonna fail.
They will drive a narrative. If they don't like the player, it doesn't matter if it's a terrible system or it was a tip ball. It doesn't matter. That's why it's a topic of conversation, because it doesn't matter for certain players.
I get it.
Especially when Baker Mayfield prior to this season was a top 5 quarterback in turnover since 2017. Now you left that part out too. See what I'm saying? So you gotta talk about the entire context. The reason why Baker Mayfield had a better season is because of Canales, right? We get that part. It's pretty clear. 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That is clear. That is the obvious, right? But also you gotta tell the entire story. You can't just pick out a piece and say, well, I'm gonna tell this piece and leave out everything else. It doesn't work like that. Because when you look at a quarterback, you look at his totality, not just, well, this right here. Now his projection, if you think his projection is high to a game changer, elite quarterback, have at it. I don't believe that. Now, as Bryce Young, I think Bryce Young's ceiling is low. I think his ceiling is low.
His ceiling is low. To bite off what he's saying, what he tried to do with mirror the pass into the run, that's great when you go from DK and then you go to a Mike Evans. I don't think Jonathan Mingo is that tall. We know Thielen ain't, and he on his way out. So I don't know how he's gonna produce that same type of offense over there with those receivers. But I get what you're saying. The problem is Baker Mayfield his mind still is gunslingerish.
But here's the thing,
so even though he didn't,
we're not even. I'm not discrediting Canales' work with Baker Mayfield. He had his best season, 17 games, 4,044 yards, first time over 4,000 yards in his complete career, and excuse me, and 20 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. That is the stat line. That is the hardcore. That's what it is. That's what he did. His best career, right? But when you look at it, the totality of it, the entire picture is like, well, that ain't $30-some million. That's not $30-some million. No. I mean, Dan Canales did what he can do as a first year OC. He did the best he can do. He did the best he can do. He didn't have a lot to work with, starting from the head coach. I mean, Todd Bowles, man. Like a lot. There's so much context that we can add to this Canales, Baker Mayfield, and then Canales going to Bryce Young. It's a drop off from Baker to Bryce Young. That's a drop off. That is a big drop off. Bryce Young didn't show me anything. And Dave Canales can turn. You can turn sugar in. You can turn sugar honey iced tea into sugar, but guess what? It still smell like sugar honey iced tea.
Yeah, I mean that's why I don't like, that Heisman Trophy winner, and you can get in trouble with that. Nobody thought Bryce Young was the better quarterback coming out,
especially with quarterbacks. And what a lot of people do, I've noticed across the spectrum of fans. And I don't know, you guys and girls, y'all, if y'all want to agree, if whatever y'all see, what y'all see, but I see what I see. They will tell you certain pieces and leave out the other stuff. It irks my nerves. It's like, okay, I get what you're saying, but where's the whole story? You telling a piece of the story. When you paint a picture, don't you paint everything? I mean, that's how I paint. I don't paint to leave all white over here and half a color over here. I'm gonna tell you the whole story, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm not gonna tell you a piece of it. That's why you see me if I say something that people don't like, especially when it comes to there's been success. Don't be afraid to point out success, but also don't shy away from pointing out the uncertainty and the bad too. A lot of people shy away from that because it rubs people the wrong way. I'm not scared to do it. Y'all know that. I talk about in the entirety of the picture, the entire scope of the Bucs organization, the situation that the Bucs are in with Dave Canales. Like I said, I'm going to keep reiterating. Best of luck, Dave Canales. I'm not going to laugh at him, to make or hope he failed because he left us. I'm not going to do that. If he has success, kudos to him. But guess what? If he has success, it hurts us. Because guess what? He was the OC for us, and he goes to Carolina, and they just mess around and have this magical season. Now everybody looking at us like same old Bucs, and let somebody go, and you know what I'm saying? So we got to be careful as Bucs fans when people leave the team. Don't take it personal. It hurts the Bucs because we thought we had some type of direction, but now we're in a cloudy situation. We went from a transitional year to, okay, the next season we're gonna make a little jump, but back to, oh man, what are we doing over here? What's going on? And the longer this OC situation lingers, the more concerned you should be as a Bucs fan. Let me say that. Let me make that clear. The longer this takes, the more concerned you should be as a Bucs fan, because it's like, well, other teams that need OCs, they're taking the best candidates. That's how this works, folks. That's like when you go to the store and you're looking for fresh fruits and veggies, you're going to get the best ones. You're going to pick the most ripe tomato. You're going to pick the most ripe. You're going to, especially when it's just set out fresh. They all set out. You got your pick of the litter. You in the store, 10 o'clock in the morning. You're going to pick the best ones out there. That's exactly what's happening to the OCs. What's out there, that's the best that you can get. You can't magically drop or put together a Zach Robinson leg, Ken Dorsey's arm. You can't put an OC together. What's out there is what's out there. And teams are snatching up what they believe are the best candidates. And guess what? They were on the Bucs list, and a couple of them never even interviewed with the Bucs. They were on the list.
Never even showed up.
Exactly. It's the point. The Bucs are in trouble. And the longer this lingers, it's going to be a repeat of last year.
But this is why I said what I said about Todd Bowles. No way the Glazers is not sitting here looking at this saying, all right, this is a recurring theme at this point. We gotta even if he does, okay, he gonna be in the hot seat. He picks the wrong one. Okay, he lucked up. He picked a guy nobody was paying attention to, made it to the divisional round. Cool. Say he picks this next one. Let's just say it's Thad Lewis. Or let's just say it's not. It's someone else outside. Now it looked like what we expected last season. You done messed around. You done accidentally gave Baker this $30 million, and now it looks horrible. It looks horrible. You overpaid Mike Evans. It just now it looks bad. So I don't know. I think they need to actually exercise all the options, head coach included. I hear people saying, well, they ain't gonna be able to justify that to the fans. Nah, yes, you will, because your statement to be, hey, I don't feel like he gives us the best opportunity to win.
Right.
Steelers is a prime example of that. No losing seasons, but it's still not enough for that fan base. Why is that? Cowboys been winning 12 games under this coach, under Mike McCarthy, 3 seasons in a row. 12 wins. It's not enough. Same thing with the Bills. It's not enough. They start asking questions. Is the quarterback the guy? Is this the guy? They finna do it with Lamar coming up. Maybe Lamar's not the guy. So we damn sure should be doing it with how our season's been looking. And there's another part to this too. Poor Kyle Trask. I know I don't, we feel like he may be bad and this and that, but damn, he's going through the Baker Mayfield situation and ain't even started a game. How many OCs he finna have? We just tearing that man career up. He might have to start next season. I say let Baker walk, or tell him, hey, we'll just sign you another 1 year. We're gonna do the veteran thing with you. We're gonna go in a different direction. Draft your quarterback, competition with all of them, let the best man win, do it that way.
That's what I was thinking too. Like if Baker, because I know he was saying, oh well, I want to stay in Tampa and I want Mike to stay and I'll work my contract around that. But I just, for some odd reason, I know he said, but I do know he still want that stability of being on a team for a while. So if that doesn't work out, I mean, like you said, we still have Trask. He's young. You know what I'm saying? And you can still draft a quarterback. And even if Kyle Trask starts and then we sort of see like where we are with him, you still have that reassurance backup plan that, okay, we did draft a guy and whatever. But that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm understanding why a lot of Bucs fans are just like panicking and going to all these different scenarios. It's just like the situation, we have time before the season starts. So we shouldn't be running around like we're like Bucko said, like we're on fire or something like that. We're
We
fine.
do, but the only thing is we went through this last season.
We
Let me say this real
You
quick.
know, so
Let me say this real quick. Somebody made a comment. And I think we in that same dimension right now. We in that same universe with this conversation. About the OC. So some Bucks fans are jumping up and down about Dave Canales and the success we had. But you know what's so crazy? This wasn't even the most successful Bucks offense season.
It was.
A long shot.
You mean to tell me the bar is set this low?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to wait to say something, guys. I'm Daquan Juice. I'm the one that you asked to bring up earlier. All right, so
Bucks with the girl. Hmm?
Hey, what's up? What's up?
hey, we're going. But no, listen. The only thing I believe that this was Dave Canales' first year as an OC play caller ever, y'all. I was on Bucko. I was on your show last year before in the offseason complaining about I thought we were going to be terrible because we got a first-time OC that never called plays before. With Todd Bowles sucks as a head coach. We got Baker Mayfield, and they surprised everybody, guys. And one thing that I think we throughout the season, because Buckos, I always come to see whenever we start losing, I always come to see the chat. Everybody get angry with each other. But we started panicking, man. And I think what it was, we didn't step back and realize that, hey, this is a quarterback that's in a system for the first time with a first-time play caller ever. And not only that, the players that we had on offense still had to learn a new offense. Mm-hmm. And so they were doing that throughout the season and still ended up 9-8 and winning a playoff game, guys. Yeah. So I think that we were doing so much bashing both Canales and Baker that we weren't realizing that they were really doing something great under Todd Bowles. This was Canales' first season as a play caller, period. And so our offense had to pick it up over the season, dude. And we still had a winning record and won a playoff game. So yes, of course, Dave Canales looked like the young, fresh, hot guy now because everybody had already wrote. I heard Keyshawn Johnson said this on Undisputed about no matter what Baker Mayfield does now, he's always going to be written off as that guy who was the number one pick and he was a bust. No matter what he does.
Don't listen to nothing Keyshawn said about Tampa.
Keyshawn don't like nothing tied to the Buccaneers.
Yeah,
he don't like nothing tied to the Bucs.
That's a bad example.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. What I'm saying, he was saying this in reference to Baker, because he was saying he was being negative too about Baker, but he said like at the end of the day, because of the reputation that Baker created before, this season doesn't mean nothing to anybody. But he actually had a decent season, guys. His best season ever, and we are still bashing him.
What? Okay, wait. So, what do you mean bashing?
But I mean,
clarify that. You gotta clarify that, man.
Yeah. So overall, I think a couple of years ago you left the Tampa Bay chat on Facebook. I don't know, Tampa Bay group on Facebook. But every day it's like Baker Mayfield sucks. Baker Mayfield sucks. Baker Mayfield sucks. Dude, he just threw 3 touchdown passes in 2 games in a row. Give him
he didn't do that all year, but I feel you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But he still was learning a new system, bro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is his 8th OC, guy.
Yeah, but here, let me clean that part up.
Here's the problem with Mayfield for $4 million.
Here's the problem with that.
I'm not saying he need to get paid that amount of money, but I'm just saying like the dude didn't come out and have a terrible season like people know him for before. Like everybody act like he was just chopped liver or something. He played. He had a good season, fellas and ladies. He had a decent season. He had a good season for any quarterback standards, especially given a first year in an offense with a first time play caller who doesn't really know situational, football like that from a play caller standpoint. Because Dave Canales made a lot of bad mistakes, but he's learning too. Now, him going to be a head coach, Buckos, I know you wanted it's gonna be a little rough for the Panthers starting out because he doesn't even know how to control a full game as an OC yet, man.
No, he don't.
Yeah, so he was still learning, and what they did together this year was pretty damn good. That's all I'm saying.
So
I mean, in the totality for the team success, but offensively, it was a lot of meat on that bone. Chris Godwin wasn't in a lot of game plans.
Right.
Rashad White is a weapon that we use sometimes. Like I get Detroit was turned up when we played them, but
we should have beat them. We should have beat them. Yeah.
There was opportunities to use Godwin, especially with the way Auden was eating. Like in a vacuum, our offense was very inconsistent. Like if you look at the broad picture, we had a good year because we had so much money in the cap.
Mm-hmm.
People had us they had us in the Caleb Williams draft lottery, and
yeah, we overachieved for sure.
But in the broad view, yeah. But as a fan that watched this team and studied this team and going to off season with this team, Canales game by game, he left a lot of meat. Like
he did.
I don't know how we go from the Green Bay. I don't know how we go from the Saints game, and we don't see another game like the Saints game until we get to Green Bay, and then we don't see another game like the Green Bay game for the rest of the year. Like it was so weird. I never really knew what the philosophy was.
The question is though. The problem is though. My bar was not if you as a Bucs. I've been a Bucs fan for quite some time, right? So as a Bucs fan, as a fan base, when I look at the fan base, and we've had our success in 2002. I think 2017 or 2007 with 10-6. We had a 9-7 season in 2016. Then we had the 2020 season. Then we had the 2021 season and the 2022 season. Of course, we had this season too when we all won a division, right? So except for 2007. So 10-6 season. But as a fan, as a whole, I'm just I don't want fans to get so comfortable with mediocre and setting the bar so low so they can have something to be like, oh look, we up here.
But that's what I'm saying too.
As a fan, you need to have your expectations.
I thought our
being an elite
really
organization, not with this the mediocre stuff.
Yeah, but guys, listen, this
mediocre.
I thought our offense was mediocre.
But guys, listen.
Your bar is set low.
You're right, but so this is the point that I'm trying to make with that, right? Since this is, like I said, we had an OC. Like I said, I'm one of the ones who didn't necessarily want to see Canales go. Where else are we gonna go next, guys? When we start doing this, and every time somebody has a decent season, just a which we call mediocre, then we want to slam everybody away. We go back to being the Buccaneers for 2 to 3 years.
Who far is that?
But check this out.
What I'm saying, we from this situation, right? Canales' first season, like I said, I didn't want him to leave, but he's gone now. Now we got to start over, and we're gonna see how that goes. But if we were going to sit here and look for the consistency in coaching and all of that stuff like that, that is how you build that kind of stuff. We can't expect for a first-year OC to just come in and give us the Super Bowl, bro.
Well, you do realize that first-year OC was not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, maybe the sixth choice. You do realize
that's the problem. Yeah, that's what you mean by the hamster wheel, though.
Yeah, but you remember one of they didn't even want to come interview with us. We got to get.
It happened again this year. Three guys never came. Why? Todd Bowles. That's the
Todd Bowles, right?
Todd Bowles, man.
Most deaf. Todd Bowles has. He doesn't have a full winning mentality. It's I'm not gonna call the timeout because they already won. It's stuff like that just make you say, come on, dude. At least it doesn't matter what percentage of chance you have to win that game. Maybe you get a blocked field goal running up. We never know. But he has a loser's mentality because he's so used to losing. I think this was his first season as a winning head coach ever.
No, he might get fired.
He got a tendency.
But that's what Bucos brought up though with the whole Baker situation. You either want an elite quarterback or you want an elite roster, right? I don't mind the Baker Mayfield kudos at the end of the day if the team was a little bit more complete around him. As far as the money goes that we're talking about
I
right
ain't gonna
now.
lie, man. This team, the offensive weapons on this team, like Trey Palmer needs to grow a little bit, but he got a solid offense around him.
He
I mean,
does.
you're missing the one major factor with Baker. I mean, I get as the season went on, Canales start having decent play calling for
He
that.
still was average. Yeah, he still was
No,
No,
mediocre.
but I'm saying, you're missing the one key component. What is always tied to Baker when he's had a successful season? What did you have?
It's an O line and it's a stout run
ability
game.
to run the ball. We actually could run the ball.
Best version of Baker Mayfield is what he had in Cleveland. That's the best version you're going to get.
Well,
if you
What
got a
he
running
got right
game,
now, it's a
okay.
ceiling. It's a cap.
And before the injury, because let's just be real, that arm, that same shoulder, that is the same one that had that slingshot on it.
I thought
The man had a top 5 O-line with 3 Pro Bowlers, a top 5 running game with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, and a decent receiving core and a decent tight end core. Come on, man. He don't have that here. So the best version,
but he had his best
Baker Mayfield at his highest level. The Bucs need to beef up the O-line and get that running game.
Yeah, we need the middle of the O line. But this was his best statistical season though.
It was.
I'm
not taking kudos to that, but dude, think about this, man. It took you 17 games to break 4,000 yards.
You know what though?
Because our offense played in a box. How many times did we go vertical?
But it's a passing lead, so 4,000 yards is the bare minimum.
Schematically, and this is what I was saying about the scheme. This is what I was saying about the scheme with Canales' scheme. It was played in a box. Like,
so we were statistically, that was his best season, right?
Yes, ever.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was our record against playoff teams? What was our record against playoff teams?
For that?
Man,
I think we won.
No, hold on. What was our record though against playoff teams?
We only beat one playoff
7,
team.
Oh, okay.
1-6.
1-6.
So we're 1-6, and he had 1-6 against playoff teams, and he had his best season ever.
Come on, man.
So
There's
you
no difference. It's
hold on, man.
Hold on. Let me.
We were talking about statistically.
Hold on. I know, but let me land. No,
our team is flawed at certain spots against those type of teams.
Exactly.
That Cleveland team had a strong offensive line, much like Detroit's team. Like football is played in the trenches, regardless if it's a passing league or not. Like we don't have a Nick Chubb. We don't have a Kareem. We barely got a Kareem Hunt with Stroud White, who I think is really good. But like our offense was played in a box. Y'all watched that Eagles game. Y'all watched that Lions game.
But why do you think it? But why do you think it was played in the box? Why do you think that?
No, I'm just saying like.
But I'm saying, why do you think that is?
Canales,
though?
That's his scheme, bro.
No. I don't think.
How many deep shots did we take schematically?
I think it's because of the decision making. No, I think it's the decision making of what Baker Mayfield is prone to. You have to think he's been in the league already. Did you not see what the Saints was doing with Derek Carr early on? Some of these quarterbacks, the OC knows, like, man, I can't let this dude just get. Come on, man. They did it with Jameis Winston. Sean Payton did it with Jameis.
Well, that's the wrong OC to have.
No, it's the wrong quarterback because you want to ensure that your
team. That's the wrong OC to have on any team.
Because
if you can't play to
you're not playing to the quarter, but that's not your quarterback strength.
Play to the team strengths.
What's the team strength? What is our identity?
Don't sit here and say, "Oh, my quarterback can't do this. My quarterback can't do this." That's an OC.
What do you mean? We told. Wait a minute. Brian Leftwich literally took a play out of the playbook for the GOAT because every time he threw a quick out to Justin Watson, it was a pick six. So you can take plays out of the playbook.
They did it
Actually, they took 80% of the playbook out in 2020 when it was 7-5.
Yeah,
they went from no risk and no biscuit to
all that out of New England shit. Everybody know that. And you
they're all. Everybody running the exact same. You literally have two quarterbacks.
There you go.
There's literally three quarterbacks that can make every throw.
Because the only time our offense looked good was after that bye week. In the playoffs, that was a defensive run.
Yeah, but guess what happened to the
playoffs?
Yeah, but guess what?
Didn't help.
They condensed the playbook.
Them condensing or changing the plays didn't help. When we got in the playoffs, we won that off our defense.
Defense.
Make no mistake. Make no mistake about that.
We're not debating that. We're saying look at the offense and look who they played. You played 4 scrub ass teams down the stretch. Of course,
there you go. Exactly. So condensing it didn't matter. So that's bad OCing. That's bad
So let
OCing.
me give y'all.
Nah, that's not bad
Let me
OCing.
give y'all. Hold on. Let me give y'all the Canales. Well, let me give y'all the Todd Bowles, Canales, Baker Mayfield combination offensively because Todd Bowles, he's a head coach, so he has to have some responsibility. So let me break this down for y'all. So let me run through all this. So you got the numbers and then you got tape, right? So we're doing a lot of tape watching, cool. But then you got to put the numbers together, stir it up. You got your gumbo, you pour it out, you eat it, right? So here we go. Bucs offense. We talking about offensive statistics, right? Points per game, 21.2, 18.2, 18 in the NFL. Yards per game, 323.9, 20th in the NFL. Points per play, yards per play, 5.2, 14th in the NFL. Third down conversion, 41%, 10th in the NFL. Fourth down conversion, which they were very good in, 66%, second in the NFL on fourth downs. Great. Red zone percentage, scoring TDs, 48%, 27th in the NFL. TDs per game, 2.3, 19th in the NFL. Rushing statistics, right? Rushing play percentage, 41%, 19th in the NFL. Rushing yards per game or rushing yards per play, 3.6, 32nd in the NFL. Rushes per game, 25, which was 22nd in the NFL. Rushing yards per game, 90.4, which is 31st in the NFL. Yay. Rushing TDs a game, 0.4, 29th in the NFL. Passing statistics, passing play percentage, 58%, which actually it gradually went up as the season progressed.
Yeah.
Completion percentage, 63%, 20th in the NFL. Passing yards per play, 6.9, 11th in the NFL, which is good. Passes per game, 33.9, 16th in the NFL. Passing yards per game, 233, 12th in the NFL. Interception percentage strong, 1.86, 11th in the NFL. Quarterback sack percentage, 6.93, 19th in the NFL. So you got tape, you got numbers. Does it add up? Does it match?
I think
matches to
I think it
mediocre.
match. Yeah, it does.
Mediocre.
It does because
mediocre.
I mean the point I've been constantly trying to drive home is that guys, this is a first year OC, man. Like he had to learn. Yeah, like he had to learn. Like he still has to learn. Now, I was going to say, him going to be a head coach, I believe, is a mistake on his career, but he has to learn. And he had not very questionable. He had terrible play calling throughout the season, and he had to learn more situational football. More times you could call this play, call that play. But
I'm with you on the first year.
Yeah, he needs to learn.
If this is the Falcons or the Panthers roster, some of the stuff he was doing this season was kind of egregious. Like
that's what I'm saying.
He was trying to fit a square peg into a round hole all season. Like trying to turn Rashad White into Derrick Henry. Like it was so weird. Yes. Like a lot of his sequences didn't make sense. Forgetting Chris Godwin was on the team until Chris Godwin's wife said something. Like it was weird. It was very weird. But
how did that take away the fact that he was still inexperienced?
But you came to an experienced team that has plenty of film that you know what everybody can do.
Okay, right. So he was like I said, I complained about this last year before it started. He never played. He's never been in that position, man, ever. So what I'm saying is he still has to come over. He still has to come over and learn these players, learn the types of plays, the types of routes that these players are comfortable with, that they love, they hit him. He still has to come and do all of this stuff for the first time ever. Pete Carroll had him over there for how long and never gave him that opportunity. He came over here. He's still learning. He's a very vanilla OC, but the offense did gradually move. And we talked about Rashad White did that in the third. He was the closest 1,000-yard rusher we had since Doug Martin. I think he was off for he had 999 this year. Nobody else had close to that.
How many?
What 970?
No, him and Rojo. It was 990. Rojo was close. Rojo was literally like 5 yards. They was the same. Rojo was better too.
No, I think.
But I get what you're saying, bro. I get what you're saying, bro.
He's still learning. He's still learning. And him taking an OC job is OC to me. That like really out of control. But
how can you say? But I get you're saying because he was a first year OC. But my counter to that would be, okay, Leftwich was a first year OC and you still had like what a top 10
Arians,
offense?
But we had Bruce Arians, bro,
Yeah.
versus
Well,
Todd
Yeah,
Bowles.
I said his first year, not 2020. His first year, you still had a top. It was an outdated offense, but it still was. You still put up points and you put up yards.
Who was he? Wait, Byron Leftwich was with
he came with
Bruce
Arians.
Arians, right? Yeah, he came with Bruce Arians.
But it was his first
with
year.
Arians.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna chalk that up though. He literally just gave him the playbook and just said, "Here go the scheme.
Like come on,
Just pick from
like,
these." So
nobody,
that one there, what we saw the real version was when BA left. And he can actually change the playbook. That's BA. That's Brian Leftwich at his finest hour.
Yeah.
You know, that season when BA left, and now he can, because at this point, this the thing. Todd Bowles don't want nothing to do with the offense at all. That's not his thing. We could tell with situational football, timeouts, ending the game, all of these things. He doesn't. That's not his strong suit. Defenses is his thing. The more he can focus on that, the better off the team would be. However, the thing with the opening up the playbook and all this and that, you're not about to open up no playbook with Baker Mayfield. And you are realizing that, damn, man, we getting how many sacks? What do we rank it on sacks? Like, how many sacks did we give up on the season? 40. I think he was sacked 48 times on the year, I believe.
He scrambled.
That's a lot. It's a lot. Baker Mayfield was sacked 48 times.
And he scrambled from like
I'm not saying.
But I'm saying when you talking about trying to make Rachaad White look like he trying to do something to just do something to throw them people off, because if not, they keep teeing off on Baker Mayfield. You know how he gets when he wants to play hero ball. He believes he can run through any defender. So some of these things you have to dial back. It's not bad OCing. It just goes to show what type of quarterback you got.
Not using your team strengths is bad OCing.
Yeah, but sometimes what if using your team strength is your quarterback's weakness?
I'm not telling him to drop back 50 times and throw 40-yard bombs.
But that's what Baker Mayfield would love to do,
Chris
though.
Godwin lining up on the outside when he clearly is very strong in the slot and moving around. Quick screens, which we rarely saw this year. I'm not saying do it at like Byron Leftwich level, but like getting the ball in Rachaad White hands in space. Like how many games did he have like 3 catches on 3 targets? When you clearly see that's his strength. When you clearly see that's his strength. So that helps the quarterback. He's running flag routes.
But Godwin looked like he done lost the burst too, though. We all watched it. Godwin don't look the same, man. I don't know what you've seen. Godwin don't look the same. That burst don't look the same at all since their injury.
On his crossing routes, on his in-breaking routes, he was still doing the same thing. It's all on the all-22. Godwin was open a lot this year. And that might be schematic, and that's Baker doing one read. I get what you're saying about not open. I'm not saying drop back 45 times and throw 40-yard bombs. I'm just saying, like, make a point of emphasis. Even his last throw, throwing that interception to K. Otten. Like, why are we looking at K. Otten in a 2-minute drill? Which, that was so stupid. I'm just like, get in his headset, hey, man, this is Rachaad, Mike, or Chris drive. Period. Make it happen.
Yeah, I mean, but in all fairness, Otten also needs to have situation. He needs to have situational awareness. This also brings us back to tight. We can't have a tight end that just started to find his groove the last 3 games of the regular season. Like, let's just be real, bro. Let's just be real. Like, every other team that's got a tight end, he is a weapon. He is not there to block. He is there to shred your life apart. He's another receiver.
I agree with that.
At the end of the day, so at the end of the day, Otten needs to understand situational football. And so, no, I can't. That's a 50-50 bad throw. But also at the end of the day,
man,
what I haven't heard from anybody yet is, or I wasn't always paying attention, but I haven't heard it yet. But the OC Canales, right? He calls the play, right? As they go in practice, they go through the scenarios when they call these plays. If I call this play, if I put Thomas in motion or Godwin in motion to identify man, weak side, strong side, zone blitz, I'm gonna call this play with this type of particular defensive formation on this particular down, the situation, the game situation, where we at in the game, winning or losing. The quarterback gets the play call. He gives it to the offense in the huddle, gets under the center or in the shotgun. When that ball is snapped, it's on Baker. Mm-hmm. Where do you go with the ball? So we can't just say, "Oh, Canales, Baker too." He got to make the decision. He got to see the scenario. He got to see strong side blitz, weak side blitz, zone, man zone, cloud, shift, cover 3, cover 2, A gap blitz. Baker got to take some of this too.
Like, I'm gonna be honest, Baker, and again, this is why the playbook was condensed or was looking like it was in the box, as you've been saying. I think any other quarterback that's cerebral, and I don't know where his grade was at coming out of the draft on the cerebral part, besides that moxie. Those two, those plays,
what is that?
I don't know, but those plays where blitzers are coming off the edge.
That shit was
I
annoying.
mean, you
same
can't
blitz all game.
Yeah, you didn't pick this
That was
up.
annoying.
You didn't pick this up. You didn't try to shift. You didn't try to shift protection or do anything.
Nothing.
Even the third
come
and
on,
fourth
man.
sacks he took from Aiden Hutchinson. I don't know what that play call was.
Like,
Brady at 45. He's dirt and balls because he see the blitz. It's over with.
And that's what I
ball
love
to the
about
ground.
Mahomes.
I gotta say this
about Mahomes. He does the same thing.
Ball on the ground. Yeah, on the ground.
He would throw that ball at a receiver's feet quick before he take a sack.
I gotta
he's
say
so
this
good at it.
I gotta say this real quick. Rolling with Soldier Child. He made a great point, and I know, and I got to go, and I don't like to go back too far or go back with this point. And I know it is what it is. The situation with Byron Leftwich, right, from 2020, 2021, 2022, and then the big drop off. The big drop off in 2022, right? And I get it. Oh, 2023. I'm sorry. 2022. I'm sorry. So he made a great point.
I see it right here. Yeah.
He got a lot of flack, but Brady didn't play well, man.
Nah, he didn't.
Oh no, he didn't.
Oh man, he was hot potato in that pocket.
He couldn't run. He was a statue. Baker's not a statue. So I'm just saying. I know. I in my opinion, I thought Byron Leftwich was a scapegoat for Brady's poor play.
Oh, I could agree with that.
Definitely.
I can agree with that.
Most definitely.
I can agree.
I think we all know that, and at this point, he's blackballed. And I think there were some other things that went on behind closed doors because we all were shocked at the Bowles hiring. We knew nothing about this.
But they give Ken Dorsey a job, and Ken Dorsey got fired in the same.
He can't even get a college job. He can't even get a college job. So something happened behind closed doors. He ain't doing interviews. It might come out later on.
I thought Byron Leftwich was with Marshall right now. So.
The only OC that I know, that's crazy. The resume, right? 2 5,000-yard passes.
A Super Bowl.
2 divisional championships, or 3. I'm sorry, 2. I'm sorry, 2 divisional championships. And you mean to tell me he can't get no OC quarterback coach?
He just can't get an interview. There's an interview.
Something went on behind closed doors, man.
Ken Dorsey can make Josh Allen look regular, and he get a job right away in the same year.
He got fired in the middle of the season.
That's crazy.
Something ain't right. I ain't going down there. I ain't going down that rabbit hole, but I'll leave it like that.
Off the OC train, real quick. You guys you said something interesting, man, about Todd Bowles. Is it me, or is his defense getting a little stale?
It's not that it's stale. It's that the league now,
right?
I don't think it's caught up. I think what people are going for, here's the problem. West Coast offenses is his defense weakness. Yep. All that motion and all that can't do nothing with it. If you go look at the teams, if you go back and go look at the teams that just do him god awful bad, which is why he usually has to get a first look at it, and then he can do. That's why we look better the second time against the Lions.
I thought we looked better the first time, but they had a lot of injuries too.
Yeah, but they didn't have people involved like the Gibbs and all that. But at West Coast offense, do his defense bad.
Boy, it's frustrating
because
at the end of the day, you're going to run into one of those West Coast teams, if not 2 or 3 of them.
Well, the league looks like we look like we just got a piece of it with the Falcons. You got Canales. That's basically what Canales is, a po man's West Coast until he gets the right pieces. If he blossoms into anything of what Pete Carroll was, and so it's not that his defense is. It's everyone now is playing the two running backs. You don't get to scheme up one running back now. No, we got to change the pace for your ass. So you got tight ends.
Watching our defense on third down. It seems we seem very robotic. If we're not getting pressure, our back end is not
Yeah,
the middle
no,
of the
yeah.
field is always open.
Always open.
Like,
Always.
it's
'Cause
the weirdest thing to me.
dude, first of all,
And if his defense is going to be like this, if it's going to be like this schematically, honestly, man, what's really the point on keeping Todd
Well,
Bowles?
well, I'm not gonna say it's always open. This is where you got to give people like Ben Johnson credit. They understand certain things like Devin White is undisciplined. So
very
putting people in motion, basically a dummy player that's not even in just putting someone, they're moving people out of the way to basically open up our middle of the
I
field
mean,
because
to
we
be
have
fair
some
to Devin White,
undisciplined players.
he was one of the top rated linebackers in pass coverage this year, which
who
is
Devin
good.
White.
No, he was not.
He was
Oh,
According to who?
that must be
According
the
to who?
Nah,
According
PFF.
to who?
That
According to
Yeah,
who?
it's
must be
According to
PFF.
who?
PFF.
According to
It's
who?
nah,
PFF.
We
Oh,
not listening to
PFF.
nah.
PFF.
Okay,
Ain't
PFF
so
don't
no
even. They don't
way.
even like him. They
Oh
don't even
no.
like Devin
if
White.
we're not going to listen, if we're not going to listen to
PFF,
PFF,
man.
that's
Oh,
fine.
No,
No.
no.
PFF
If we're
don't
not
even
going to
like
listen to it,
Devin
that's
White,
fine.
so I
I can
can't
deal with
believe
that
that, bro.
because they
His
said
grade last year was his jersey's number. They
no. His
graded him
grade
a
this year was high.
45.
He was graded very high amongst linebackers in pass coverage.
What
oh,
are they using? Like
No
what?
way. What does your
I'm
eyes
just
tell
it
you?
was from PFF.
No. No way. No way.
I'm telling you, I'm not
No
making
way.
it up.
If he
God, PFF, man.
if he graded high, then our safety Neil is top 5 in the league.
Hey,
Ain't no
Neil
way.
was number one before the season started.
And guess what? He was number 2 this year. Then, if Devin White graded
He's
out,
number.
he needs
PFF, man.
100. So give him
I
100
don't
million.
mind.
Then
I don't mind
Become the
not using
holy football
PFF.
Bible. When did PFF become the holy football Bible to reference a player?
No,
Come
that's
on.
what I was about to say. I was about to say I don't
Jesus
mind not
Christ.
using PFF. I'm just putting the references out there. I don't like PFF personally because I never understand the grades. Because I watched Tristan Wirfs play all year, and only maybe one game I saw him having above 80 grade. And it was some games where he was just completely stoned. But I guess they take in a run blocking too, so I guess
his
that kind
run
of
blocking
goes
ain't.
it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna be
I mean,
honest.
but
He messed up and allowed KJ Britt to basically show, hey, bro,
Wait,
we
hold up.
really
Wait,
don't
that's
even
the whole
need
wait.
you.
I'm gonna do a separate video on the
All right.
I'm gonna do an overview of the season,
Oh,
summary.
the players. All right. Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah.
we'll
So back
go
to
by
the.
position in position,
But
but I
but
want to
to
focus
but
back
to
to the
but I'm
OC.
So
glad you're
back
gonna
to.
do that video. But I get what I already know what you about to say about like.
Let's go
Yeah,
back.
basically we
We'll
got
wait.
players stepping up, but
We'll wait.
so for the OC thing, the
Where do we
Bowles
go
is
from here?
not
Like
gonna.
what candidates that's left, which is probably like the middle of the pack and bottom half of the candidates left. What are we doing?
Man,
Which
Eric
one?
You
B.
gonna have to put it with
Eric B.
quarterback and build.
Since the Panthers took something from us, then they need to go see if Arthur Smith wants to be over here.
What?
Whoa.
OC.
What?
No.
Christ, bro.
No.
Who?
Listen, I'm
No. We don't have the offensive line for Arthur Smith system.
Yeah,
You
No.
don't got two running backs.
he
You need
No,
two
already
we ain't
running
got
backs.
no running back for his system, bro.
he
yeah, but
already
No.
he might can draw up some good run
You got
schemes
Cliff
now. He
No.
can run the
Kingsbury.
ball.
You got Cliff Kingsbury, Gerard Johnson, Antoine Randall L. The in-house hire Thaddeus Lewis, which I don't agree with
I
that one.
like
I-
I
Cliff
like
Kingsbury might
Kingsbury,
be
but
the best
I
one
like
out
the
of
other
there.
Rams quarterback
Not happening.
game coordinator. I
It's
like
not
all the
gonna
Rams
happen.
guys
I
because you
think
know
he's
what
gonna
kind
go
of
to the
scheme
Falcons.
they gonna scheme guys wide open. But I wanted Zach Robinson, but I knew he was gonna go with Raheem. I mean, they friends, so
What are we doing? Where are we going?
but
What
they
y'all
don't
think?
have a quarterback in Atlanta. I think that's gonna pay dividends for that system starting out slow.
Let me ask you something. Is there a scenario where they could hypothetically say, okay, Bowles, time's up. We're gonna go another route. Is there a potential to get a coach or OC from the 49ers? Or like John Lynch, so maybe you make a phone call to John Lynch, hey man, uh, we need one of your staff members.
But who is there that you would replace? And the only thing about that, man, dude, they so prudent when it comes to the Bucs. You know, they focus on Manchester, um, the
That's
Glazers,
true.
bro.
That is very true.
Like they so
Yeah,
prudent when it comes to like they don't want any negative backlash. Like they might be scared if they fire Bowles after winning back-to-back division titles, getting to a divisional round, the backlash is gonna come. It's gonna give them attention to the Bucs that they don't want to create.
no, that,
They
that that did come up. They did say the optics of it wouldn't be able to be sold, which is why you can bank on Bowles being
Yeah,
here.
it's
But
hard to
I'm
sell that, man, because Bowles did a good job keeping the locker room together. But I
Yeah,
am
because of
tired of
Devin
Todd
White.
Bowles. I am tired of Tyler.
Yeah, but we still got to investigate it. We got to investigate it still. Then they pay. I'm sure they paid a fine behind the scene over
let me
it.
give y'all a couple names, right? As far as OC, Thomas Brown Jr., Panthers, former OC, Gerard Johnson, Luke Getzey,
Oh, where's Frank Wright?
Fury, Tanner Engelstrand, Dan Pitcher got a job already now. Shane Washington got a job already. Eric Bieniemy sitting out there.
I like Eric Beatman. I want a veteran OC with this
Nick
team.
Cayley. Nick Cayley. Nick Cayley's sitting out there now. The thing about Gerard Johnson, he was a quarterback coach, and I didn't see Bucs fans jumping up and down to get Gerard Johnson over because he helped CJ Stroud. So why you not jumping up for Gerard Johnson? You jumped up for Dave Canales.
I ain't gonna lie to you. That's a good point. That's a valid point.
I'm just saying you jumped up for Dave Canales.
Buckos, a lot of Buckos. Me and you had this conversation. A lot of these people don't know all those names.
That's my point, though. They jump.
But you just see a name. You see a name. You should do research.
Yeah, you see a name. No. We're gonna do research. I did a research. Yeah. I got a long list. Like I said, I wanted the Robinson kid to come over here, but then when the Raheem Morrison situation, I'm like, well, you can hang that up because I'm like, bro, did you see what that scheme did to the Saints? We can use that, So once that happened, but Frank Wright, ain't he still lingering out there?
Yeah, Frank Wright's out there.
And that's what I want. I want a veteran OC. No. We tried the rookie OC first time play caller. We saw it. It was mediocre. It had its highs. It has its lows. But just like our record being 9-8, our offense was synonymous to our record. That 9-8, even the way we played against Detroit was synonymous to being 9-8. That roller coaster mess, 9-8. I want an OC I want a veteran that's not their first time calling plays, that can get a feel for any game because they've been in a lot of situations.
Here's the interesting thing about Gerard Johnson. So let me give y'all some of his.
I do like that though. That's an off-the-cuff name right there.
Let me give you the offensive background. Since 2017, he joined the ranks. Right, he went from San Francisco, Kyle Shanahan, to Indianapolis under Frank Wright in that system. Right, Minnesota, Kevin O'Connell, which comes from the Sean McVay / Kyle Shanahan system, and then he was at Houston with D'Amico Ryans, but Bobby Slowick came from the Shanahan. So Gerard Johnson, I'm just saying,
that's a sleeper. That's a good call. That's a sleeper. I'm keeping my eye on that one.
Do your research. That's
a sleeper. That's a sleeper. Just like you said, what's the name was a sleeper, and we didn't damn draft him. Travis Jones.
I mean, but if that's the case,
I'm still mad about that.
But if that's the case, you might as well go after all the quarterback coaches to the elite quarterbacks.
Oh, Brian Fury, the 49ers tight end coach.
No, but I hear what you said.
What about what about the Kansas City Chiefs? Who's the quarterbacks coach up there?
Mike Kafka, but no,
their offense wasn't impressive.
No way. Tanner Engelstrand, the Lions passing game coordinator. He's under Ben Johnson.
Was some guys out there.
But I think Ben Johnson gonna take him along. If Ben Johnson get the Commander's job, I think Ben Johnson gonna take him.
He might get that Redskins job or Commanders.
Yeah, he gonna take him over there. So let me give y'all some more candidates.
I wonder if he would keep Eric Bieniemy if he does that.
Nah, he's gonna get his own guy. Eric Bieniemy is a A-type personality. That's I wouldn't mind Eric being on our staff.
What is wrong with Eric Bieniemy? Like,
it's something going on, man.
Do y'all not know his background?
I thought he wanted to be a head coach.
No, do y'all not know his background though?
Yeah, but if you don't know his background, you should do.
If you don't know his background, then you wouldn't even ask this question. Let's just put it like this: he's the dark sheep of coaches. He's great, but he has an A-B situation in a nutshell. He's Antonio Brown when it comes to coaches off the field.
What about Baker and Cliff Kingsbury? Air raid offense.
No, I was just about to say that's what I don't want Baker to get into. I don't want to have to depend on Baker to win games. We get in the air raid. If he play bad, we lose. At least if we're in a balanced offensive attack, we can kind of survive.
What has the running backs? Hold on. What has the running back? Hold on. Because I'm gonna say this.
Jim Bob.
I don't think it's air raid. Because James Conner was running pretty decent over there for the Arizona Cardinals.
Wait, Cliff Kingsbury?
Yeah, I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, he was second behind with touchdowns. What are the run stats over there?
He was getting 1 yard touchdown runs. He was getting 1 yard touchdown.
Mike Sullivan, the Steelers quarterback coach.
Yeah, but Mike Sullivan was.
I don't want nothing.
Right?
Yeah, I don't want nothing. No, I don't want nothing from the Steelers.
Mike Sullivan was here, by the way.
Mike
He was
Sullivan
in Tampa.
Luciano. Hell no.
No, I don't want nothing from the Steelers. No, sir.
I'm just giving y'all the candidates, man. Don't get mad at me.
Oh,
If that's the case, if we're going back down memory lane, just go call Dirk Cutter back.
Oh,
All right, that's cool.
Dork Cutter.
Tell him to bring James. Hey.
And his 4 vertical offense. His 4 verts offense.
I bet you Cade Otten didn't get off. Then.
He was an okay OC.
He's
the only one that
he ran a simplistic offense, 4 verts. Come on, man.
he maximized OJ Howard talent though.
When?
OJ Howard was getting off when we had him. He was getting off every guy.
Remember that play action tight end wheel that we ran against Buffalo? We ran it like all year.
Cam Brake was getting off too. Cam
Brake was getting off too. Yeah, them tight ends was getting off.
What about Brian Johnson? Brian Johnson, Alex Van Pelt.
I seen Brian Johnson's name up though.
Bucko, you got me with the Gerard Johnson. I
like him.
I wish I could put a bug in somebody's ear about that guy. Because I get what you're saying about other good quarterbacks, but CJ Stroud was prolific. CJ Stroud.
It makes this.
Gerard Johnson is the reason why CJ Stroud was like that, right?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I was saying.
Right? That's what we're gonna do. That right? We're gonna push that narrative. Gerard Johnson. The reason why CJ Stroud had a historic rookie season is only because of Gerard
Johnson. OJ died so Cutter can live.
It was not because of Bobby Slowick. It was not because of the OC. It was because of Gerard Johnson.
Yeah,
CJ Stroud looked good.
I ain't gonna lie, that's real attractive.
We're gonna skip the OC and give all the credit to Gerard Johnson.
That's real attractive.
I mean, this is the thing, and Buckos did make a big point when he pointed it out about the OC for the actual Seahawks. Those people at the end of the day are like, there's an interview Gino did, I want to say early in the year, not this year, of course, last year. He never said Dave Canales' name.
Never.
Once. And it's like a 2-hour-long interview. I mean, because these guys, they're literally helping you with they're helping you with fundamentals. The overall scheme that a player is actually playing in is those players are being designed by a particular individual. He's going to get the credit for that.
That makes sense.
Like the quarterback is literally just telling you, hey, flick your wrist this way, move your hips like this, those things, look, that's not the same thing as calling the plays. His first play he ever called in the NFL was a trick play, I think, and he just offered it up in the air and they ran it.
I will say this today before any snaps have taken place, and this is for the Buccaneers organization to run with.
The Pivot podcast.
Today, right now, before the season starts, before free agency draft and all that, we're still the better team in the division, and we still got the best coach, ironically, in the division. However, it's up to the organization now to continue to build on what we have, because it's easy. We can go from first to last in a matter of months right here, depending on what we do with the OC.
That OC decision is very
exactly depending on what we do with the OC, depending on what happens with our free agency, depending on what happens with the draft. We can stay where we are right now and compete for the division again, or we could be looking up, because I like what Raheem Morris is doing now. The quarterback is the most important position on the field because they touch the ball every play, and they don't have a quarterback. So you're not going to turn Desmond Ridder into Matthew Stafford. You're not even going to turn him to Jared Goff all of a sudden. It's just not going to happen. He's just
okay. So when does it stop? When let's say we go 10 games, 9-10 games, win the division. Now our OC is getting phone calls. Somebody wants him for a head coach.
Yeah,
we gotta do this. So because we have a defense, because you're not hearing me, we have a defensive. Teams love to see, because they know at the end of the day the nature of a defensive head coach. Typically, when you have a defensive-minded head coach, the OCs for that team will get plucked. It always happens.
Win the division or not. If we win another 8 or 9 games, and our OC is doing what happened, and you're going to see a Dirk Cutter, Lovie Smith situation. I guarantee it. Even if we win the division. Even if we win the division, I guarantee you, because
Do you got any extra seatbelts?
it was exactly. But
safety.
If we win
ready.
another 8 to
At least be
9
ready.
games, even if we win the division, and our OC is what he just has to be what Canales was, or you see the improvement, you see the growth.
That's a low bar, by the way. That's a low bar.
I'm saying that's the only, to me, that's how Todd Bowles gets replaced. Like Lovie Smith and Dirk Cutter. Like we won 6 games, but you saw the improvement on the team, but you knew we weren't going nowhere with Lovie Smith, and they didn't want to lose Dirk Cutter. So that's why they did
improvement. We went from 2 wins to 6. What?
Who was gonna hire Dirk Cutter though?
No, remember that season, man. We went on that. Actually, we won more games than that, because that was the year we beat Seattle that one time. I think we won 7 games, but it was it 6 and 10? No, it was 6 and 10. It was 6 and 10.
He went from 2 and 14. The year before Winston got there was 2 and 14. The first year with Winston was 6 and 10. That's a 4-game improvement. What do you mean not improvement?
No, I said we did improve. No, I said we saw the improvement, but they.
I don't even know why they hired Dirk Cutter. I don't get it.
No, think about this.
Because they didn't want to lose Dirk Cutter. They didn't want to lose
the Eagles.
Nobody interviewed him. So how you go 6 and 10 and he a head coach? He a high head coach candidate. Make sense.
That was weird, man.
No, they thought they were going to lose him to
Eagles,
another team. That's what they thought.
So
because it was Jacksonville, it was Atlanta, it was a couple teams that was talking about. It was a couple teams that was talking about getting Dirk Cutter.
You really would hire a coach from a 6 and 10 ball club to be your head coach,
and you see where that took us.
It was a jerk move.
So Bucko,
I'm saying, I'm asking you guys, you would really hire a coach from a 6
I
and 10
wouldn't.
ball?
No, I wouldn't. But I'm just saying with Tampa, that's what we did.
That's what we did. And Jacksonville was looking at him, and they panicked. The Eagles hired Doug Peterson, by the way.
They hired Doug Peterson as
they
as the head coach. Remember
that year. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, if Todd Bowles goes 9-8 again, and would you just in reference to what you were saying, if we have a solid OC, and like you said, how the league is going, we're going to see the writing on the wall, and they're probably going to promote that OC. Like I see that happen.
Well, here's a thing though.
I hate for it to happen that way because we're still just 8-9, 9-8. So what's really going to improve?
What's the probability of that happening? That 8-9, 9-8 season? That's the question.
We got another first place schedule.
But Buccos, to be fair though, and this is what I'm gonna ask. We just made it to the divisional round. So are we to keep that same energy going into the next season? Because at this point,
the OC situation changes a whole lot. So you can't really say, yep, same energy. Because I have to give the Bucs in their situation right now the benefit of the doubt. So I can't raise the bar because of the OC situation.
Yeah, I know, but Bowles is still technically here.
Yeah, I get it, but that OC is that's
and our defense is going to be not perfect, but they was top 10 in scoring defense, but we saw that this wasn't a top 10 defense. We saw that.
And the only reason why I say that though is because granted, we talking about a Mahomes and Andy Reid and so forth. But you have a whole bunch of teams that lose their
league, man. That's why these Todd Bowles things. Todd Bowles, and I know I used the word stale earlier, man, but we've seen a steady decline of this pass defense, bro. Like schematically, I don't like our pass defense.
I don't even know why people jump up and down. I don't know why people jump up and down. I didn't mean to cut you off. I don't know why people jump up and down. The Bucs run defense because they don't.
It's literally what the lines is when everybody was shocked and I said, bro, they don't run the ball enough because their back end is so dirty. Same thing with the Tampa Bay. But what I was gonna say, everybody loses their OCs. They don't drop production down on that team. If I'm just being honest. Now, granted, a lot of these people they got a quarterback usually, but in the most case, the Chiefs lose their OC, the Eagles. Nobody said, "Hey, they losing games."
Philly did. The Bucs averaged 21 points a game this season, and only won 9 games. So think about that. Remember now, in the 8-9 season when they finished 8-9 and they averaged 18 points a game. If they would have averaged 21 points a game, I think it would have been like 12-5 or 13-3, something like that.
Yeah, the difference was the kicker. I keep telling people.
So this season they actually hit the number, and you only got Nah,
One more win.
one more win.
That's
More
because they
win.
had a few heartbreakers. That
Yeah.
last minute with
That
CJ
Houston
Stroud
game.
going 90,
Yeah,
going
who
what,
started that?
80?
That
Jesus Christ.
That was like the Cooper Cup situation. Like
That was worse. I'm gonna be honest. That one's worse because it's one thing when you launch a ball up and it's just a busted coverage. You let a rookie pick you apart across the entire field in under a minute.
at
Across
that
the
point,
entire.
if you a Bucks fan, if you a Bucks fan, you saw the Cooper Cup situation in 2021, and then 2022 was a wash, right? And then when you saw 2023, the Texans situation,
Whew.
if you jumping up and down for Todd Bowles defense,
Thank
you
you.
need to sit down. You need to
Thank
have
you.
several seats.
Thank
Several
you.
seats, man.
That's what I'm saying.
And then it was a rookie quarterback
If
to
you see
a
the
rookie
second
receiver to do
That
it
was
to
worse
us.
than Mitchell Trubisky.
If
That
you
was
see-
Oh my.
worse than Mitchell Trubisky game.
if you see the second half of the Lions, so think about that's all those things you think
Three
about.
straight
Right there.
touchdown drives.
Like
3 straight touchdown drives by the Lions. Ben
and
Johnson had a
two of
field
the
day in the
drives
middle of the
started
field.
on check down routes.
Field day. Ben
The-
Johnson was coaching circles around Todd Bowles.
The hamster. We're not sleeping on Todd Bowles. It's just he gets here's the problem. I don't think his defense is bad. What I think is there are two people in particular who have regressed majorly.
Yeah,
Dean and CD3. Those two have regressed for some odd reason.
T-Buck Davis?
They can't stay healthy.
Yeah,
and they
they
can't
something is going on. Yeah, something is going on with them two. So I'm not gonna say his defense is he's not bad. It's just they are starting to become liabilities.
Bucky, what your girl? You brought it up. So guess what? You got to elaborate on that cornerback situation. You've been over there quiet. You brought that up because that got your attention. So what's going on right there? What's going on?
They've always been like that. Like when you think about it, ever since both of them has entered the league, they've never played a full season. So coming into this season, when they were talking about, Zion McCollum's sophomore year, my main emphasis is he had to get better because I knew at some point in the season, one of those two were going to go down, and it happened, and he was able to play more snaps. But the thing is too, if these are your two top corners and they're injury prone and they're not playing the full season, and even when they're in the game, they're not making an impact, that says a lot. And
Yeah.
so,
Especially in the
But
passing
you said
league.
that though. But that you said that, how much of that particular position, and I got to tie this in with the offense, how much does that affect the offense?
it affects the offense a lot because if those top two corners, one can't stay healthy, you have to depend on your second stringers, or even if your cornerbacks are in there and they're not playing up to that caliber, that means that you're just getting burnt on, and that offense is going to score. And now your offense has to go out there, and they have that pressure of, okay, now we got to keep up.
Which means no run game for a bad running game team.
Mm-hmm.
So we're kind of in the same spot of like when teams just chose not to run on us because they knew they could just pass on us. We're still sort of in that.
So you mean to say, so in other words, that affects Canales because he got to dig deep and say, I got to get us back in the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Well, and he was saying he was vanilla. I was just saying, I think I was putting it on Baker Mayfield, but when you bring the defense in, you're absolutely correct because ain't nothing like sitting on that bench after you just scored and you literally watch the defense to your team give up a quick score.
But
now
here's the
you're
beautiful
right
thing
back
about
on
it.
the field.
But here's so I'm gonna dig a little deep with the context with the offense and the defense situation. The Bucs scored 21 points a game and they only allowed 19. So they're 9-8, really?
Yeah, we had a couple stinkers in there.
See,
that
bingo.
Atlanta game, that first Atlanta game, that Houston game, that's 2 more wins right there.
Right.
That's interesting, ain't it? 21 points a game. You average 21 points a game.
But
and you only gave
I
up
think
19.
we should have.
But it literally shines the light on one side of the ball. If that's the case, it naturally gives Canales his flowers, and it shines the light on the fact that the defense that bend but don't break, They broke a lot
But
this
that's
year.
fifth in the NFL. That's the only teams that are ahead of the Bucs as far as points allowed is the Baltimore Ravens, Kansas City Chiefs, San Francisco, and Buffalo. So the Bucs
Yeah.
defense did their job.
Yeah, but what about that
But
record
we
though?
watched this defense too, though, man. We knew it wasn't a top 5 defense.
Well, I mean,
No,
scoring
but
defense.
they
We're talking about scoring defense, not like
scoring
overall.
defense.
But I get what
But
you're saying. But them defenses you just named, they can actually stop people. You know what I mean? Like they
yeah,
can
but we should be but we should be able, like, when you sit and look. But this is why we say, which is going to be another video. The Shaq Barrett, he already talked about it, which I'm happy. I don't know if y'all seen it. He pretty much knows he probably won't be on the team.
Well, we
because
don't
of his
get
level of
anything.
play
We
and this
don't
and
get
that.
anything
But
for cutting him. We don't. So
yeah, no, we get it.
needed
No,
a
it's
structure at least.
because it's like a 20. What is it, Bucko? About a $30 million cap hit, 20-something million
Yeah,
cap
we
hit.
don't.
So it'd be
So-
It's
better
a
to
terrible
restructure.
contract. It's a terrible
But-
contract. So
Yeah, it's bad. But
and I
We
never
were so
liked it. I
thirsty
never
for
liked
10
that
sacks,
contract. I
and he gave us
never
20
liked
his
that
first
contract. I hated the contract when they gave
yeah,
it
it's
to him. I hated
bad.
it.
Yeah, it was bad. It was
And
bad.
I knew it when we did that. And I called this years ago. I like the reference stuff that I say when they signed Shaq Barrett. I was like, wow, yeah, they
You
paid him
did.
because of the outlier season.
You
They
did.
are paying
You
him
did.
literally for an
Yep.
outlier
We
season.
were
That's his
so
worst
thirsty.
contract.
We
That's
were
his worst
so thirsty
contract.
for somebody to get us 10 sacks. He got us 19 in his first year, and we jumped the gun. We were so thirsty for somebody to give us 10 sacks.
And he
got
came
us-
back next season with a belly, and and then from there. But
I mean,
no,
before his Achilles injury, he was okay. We're not going to cut him. We're probably going to restructure him or whatever. But I'm excited to see how he plays next year. I mean, Achilles injury is a serious injury.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that. But
whoa,
so,
you do know he has another injury, but that's another topic.
The thing that here's the thing about with the I'm gonna circle back around to the Baker situation and the OC situation. Regardless of who the OC is, it's going to be another learning curve for Baker. And at some point, I'm gonna bring it up again. At some point, it's information overload. It's like, dude, you got 7 offenses, eight. This would be 8 now if he stays with the Bucs. It'll be 8. Well, actually, no matter where he goes, 8 offenses in 7 years in the NFL. Like, Jesus, bruh, it's gonna be confusing, man. It's going to be confusing at some point.
Highlight the Rashad West comment, because that does circle back around to Dave Canales, and I hope that Todd Bowles has that written across every board, in every office, every place he goes. You scored no first drive TDs all season long.
All season.
Terrible.
All season long.
Terrible.
That's just not getting it done, bro.
Yeah. So, like I said, man, we're in an opportunity. We have a situation here with Tampa where we can stay where we are, which is on top of this division, based off how we do with this OC. What we do?
So we the new Saints. We the new Saints.
No. Hell no. We better than the Saints. We're better than the Saints.
When they had Drew Brees. No, when they had Drew Brees.
Oh, when they had Drew Brees. Okay. Yeah.
Basically, we're the new Saints. We're just division winners.
They said we got a Super Bowl off being a good team. They didn't. Well, they did too. They got one in 09, I guess. 06. Was 06?
We need one more to tie with them, if I'm not mistaken. We need one more to tie with them, because I think they got 7. We got 6. So we need one more to tie with them. And at that point, yeah, we the next set.
Jason Light, to give Jason Light his flowers, he's hit on the last 2 drafts. So we're young. We have a good mix of young.
Okay. Wait a minute. I'm not.
He hit on the last 2 drafts.
I'll give him the 2023 draft. I
don't know, Buccos. They people out here screaming Luke Gedeke and Cody Mack for some odd reason. Cody Mack and they are giving them boys flowers. I don't know why.
Like, y'all know that. I'm not a big fan of that.
Luke Gedeke flowers. Luke looked like a Pro Bowler this year at right tackle.
What?
He went up against a gauntlet of defensive linemen.
You can't look like a Pro Bowler with a 32nd ranked rush offense. You can't do that. It doesn't work.
But the tackles.
How many sacks did he give up? How many sacks?
No. Name me a Pro Bowl lineman, all Pro line, Pro Bowl, whatever you want to call it. I know it's 2 different things, but he's on a Pro Bowl with the worst running game in the NFL.
Yeah, but our left guard, our center, and our right guard were terrible.
All I'm asking is
that's a lot for you to hold up on the left tackle.
Name your tackle in an offense with the worst running game that's in a
fair. But name me a tackle.
It was Tristan Wirfs.
But in general, Tristan Wirfs is left tackle.
I'm saying at the time when he was right, and he went all pro.
But he's a different animal from Luke Gedeke.
He's a first round pick.
I mean, come on, man. Like,
All right.
He's a
All right.
different animal. We're talking about Luke
But we
and
get
Tristan Wirfs. That's a
nothing.
big drop off.
Yeah.
We get nothing from our interior offensive lineman. That's
Tristan
a lot
Wirfs is
of
the
pressure
only
on our
one
tackles.
worth a damn on our offense, to be honest, on our offensive line.
It is.
I'll be real
It
with you.
is.
We got
And
one of
then
the weakest O lines in the NFL, and that's
it really puts pressure on him because teams know that.
Luke
Tristan Wirfs
Gedeke
is he's on an offensive line that's the only one worth a damn. He's the only one that you could pick off the O line and say he can go play over here, over there, and over
Luke
there.
Gedeke was really good at right tackle this year.
Teams will take him.
He's
Teams will
really good
take
at right
Tristan
tackle.
Wirfs in a heartbeat. You think teams gonna jump up and down and say we'll take Luke Gedeke?
If Luke Gedeke at right tackle puts another year together like he did this year, teams will take him. He was really good at right tackle.
Okay here. I wouldn't put down for that.
He was really good at right tackle.
I mean, the
good.
tackle plays
There
were
was
fine this year.
games you didn't hear Danielle Hunter's name. You didn't hear.
You can't even run it consistently on his side.
Aiden. Yes, he was. What are you talking about? Nobody was going against Tristan Wirfs.
Oh my goodness, bro. All I'm gonna say is this: the 32nd ranked running offense. You can't sit here and argue.
You can say that all day long, but
I can say it all day because it's a fact.
Line is bad. We're talking about. Hold on.
It's a fact.
We're talking about spending a first round pick on our interior offensive line. The interior was terrible. I'll give you that.
That's the obvious. But I'm saying as a whole unit, you can't be a good unit when you good at pass
I didn't say he was a good
you're
unit.
terrible at run blocking. Oh, but they're good though. No, it don't work like that.
I didn't say a good unit. I didn't say it was a good unit. I said he had a good year at right tackle.
Okay.
He had a fringe Pro Bowl year at right tackle. He did.
I need him to run block better.
That's fine.
That's the problem I'm having. I don't like how the league says you have a good O-line, but you're bad at one particular side of it. Like, we're great with the passing, but the run is the problem.
I need even Tristan Wirfs.
So that puts you at the middle. That puts you at best 16, right? If you had a number one pass and a 32 rush, at best you're mediocre.
I need Tristan Wirfs to run block better too. Everybody.
I agree, but we also agree that Tristan Wirfs is an all-pro.
Yeah, I'm just saying I need everybody to block better so that O-line can look better. If the O-line can go from bottom half of the league to like upper teens, we good to go.
Lightning Films, they didn't want to run behind Tristan Wirfs and wear him down.
Who thought is that? It circles back round 2.
Yeah, that's Dave Canales.
I
mean, it did work. It did work. But damn, do you want to beat up him like that, man?
That's what I was gonna say, man. That's a lot.
Like, do you really want to beat him up like that? Yeah. Like, and my problem was, like, my problem with I understood the theory. Yes, we got yards, but boy, if he was to have went down with a season-ending injury.
Also, what kind of hurt Dave Canales as far as a play caller, as far as what he can do, is what he saw in Seattle, right? And what they were doing with their run game, and he tried to implement that style of run game here, and we don't have the horses carrying the ball like that. And this nothing against Rashad White. I think he's a great third down back. I think we need to go.
You still think he's third down, Bucos?
The next OC, we need a Jameer Gibbs, David Montgomery type. We need a Tyler Alger.
Think he's a third? You don't think he's early down?
We need a Tyler Alger, B. John Robinson type combination. We need an Eagles combination. We need a 49ers. There's no such thing as a one running back team anymore. That's the point.
No.
Oh yeah. No. No.
We need 2. Oh, well, we need 2. We need 2.
I think Rashad White. I think he's a bell cow, but I do think we need the switchy.
If you get
like the Gibbs thing we saw, every person in that Bucs office said we need that.
Jameer Gibbs or Shifty. Why can't we do that? It's a problem.
It's not Tucker. It's not Tucker neither. It's not Tucker.
No.
It's not Tucker. He's quick, but he's not that.
I'm literally talking about helping the Bucs run game with a more elite a more explosive running back. It's we got Rashawn White. Man, you're not catching on, ain't you? You're not. Some people just don't catch on to what I'm saying. All these other teams with 2 running backs, but as soon as BucosLocker said, "Well, we don't need another running back," what?
Oh no, we definitely do. We
need another running back, man.
Jesus Christ! Well, do you want the team to get good or what? Jesus! Like, you want this team to be a mediocre hamster wheel. Can't have 2 running backs because
especially if you can land a Gibbs. That boy don't even need but 8-9 carries, and that's 100 yards.
Sean Tucker. And like I said, this next video, and I'm probably going to get a whole lot more conversation out of this when we start talking about the
I'm talking
summary
about
of
it,
the
bro.
season with the breakdowns of the groups and how they looked and what needs next. And then as we go toward the draft talk, almost not really all the way through, but we'll start mentioning some names in our next video. And then I know some of us watch college football. I watch college football. My weekends is always like that. But I'm gonna throw some names out there in this next video when we do the overview of the season, and we're gonna talk about what did it look like in each position group, what's next, and the possibilities that, as far as, if you could throw some names out there early, so people that don't really look, they can start taking a look at some videos, some highlights, or some games of running backs, interior O-line, pass rushers. This is all going to be conversation points in the next video. In that video, as I wrap this one up, that video is going to be even longer, and I'm gonna find some time to do that because that's going to be a longer video. Because there's a lot to talk about, because we done touched on it a little bit in this conversation because it kind of ties into the OC situation, you know what I'm saying, whatever the case may be. And we're gonna talk about both sides of the ball, right? When it comes to the season overview, the current state and the future state where the Bucs need to head at, because if they don't go that route, we're going to be in the hamster wheel over and over and over again. So with that being said, closing remarks of this OC conversation, because I seen y'all talking about it around this social media platforms. What's the closing remarks on what's next for the Bucs and this OC, and how much of a role is Todd Bowles is going to play in picking the OC, or this is a Jason Light thing?
We got to get this OC thing right, the OC coach right, man. Who we get, it's got to be right, because we gonna be playing some tough teams next year, man. We gonna mess around and get the first round draft pick. We might get Shador Sanders next year. We don't get it right. We might get Shador somebody in the first round, because we got some teams, man. We got a lot of holes to fill. People talking about Mike might walk. I don't know, but the OC is a big thing right now, bro. That's how I feel. I know we got some things we got to do on both sides of the ball, but OC right now, it's going to depend a lot on that.
Who do you
That's
like? Who do you suggest? The OC. What do you think they should go look at as far as the tree? What style of offense, the philosophy? What do you think they should kind of go toward? Like, what do you think?
I heard they was talking about looking at that guy from the Bills, the OC from the Bills. I heard he's pretty good.
Come on, Ken Dorsey.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They heard
you ain't getting him.
Got him by the Browns.
The Browns got him.
Dang, that was quick. They were just talking about.
I told you this is how it works. They go get the best ones available.
I guess I was right the first time. We better get the OC right up. We'll be picking the first round next year. We'll get Shador Sanders up in there. Either we gonna get somebody next year, man. Anyway, I ain't gonna hog a bird thing, man. I'm past my bedtime anyway. I just was checking y'all out. I thought this was a recording at first. Damn, Bucko's still on.
Oh, I'm here.
You want to talk crypto? Now I'm out.
We can, but
now I ain't got time tonight.
I got you, man.
I got you, man. All right.
Appreciate it, man. Next up.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Go ahead.
Oh, you can go. Because I'm just making it quick. West Coast. It better be something off the West Coast.
Keep everything, crossing routes, misdirection.
Yep. If you're bringing back Baker, it makes all the sense in the world because he's at least familiar with the schemes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. It wouldn't make sense to get anything outside of that makes everyone out, because if you get something off the West Coast, not only is Baker comfortable, your receivers are comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Your defense, as far as practice goes, since y'all like to have good practices.
Yeah, good practice week.
Yeah, we had a good practice. We'll see when the report comes out. But
look at that, man.
But no, I would love, this is where we throw pennies in the wishing well, right? I'm gonna throw a whole dollar in there. If it could be anything off the McVay tree or something off the Kyle Shanahan, something where they kind of, like you say, the crossing routes where we can turn. We have a Puka Nuka and Chris Godwin if you want to use them that way. So
man, that's exactly what I said about
so yes, West Coast. If not, Dad Lewis. That's all it is. So, and we won't be wearing jerseys too much next season.
But I gotta go to work. I'll be real quick. I think this hire is kind of a catch-22 for Todd Bowles because he could potentially be hiring his replacement. And this could set the franchise up for the next 3 to 5 years, or it could set us back for the next 3 to 5. So that's where I'll go with that. But I'm with the McVay and Shanahan tree as far as OC. There was another quarterback game coordinator from the Rams that we were interested in. But Buccos, I gotta give you credit. You opened my eyes to Gerard Johnson. I'm actually very intrigued with that guy.
Matter of fact, if you get a chance, being that you got all 22, just go back and look at the Texas scheme. Just go back and look at it.
Because I was very impressed with how C.J. Stroud, no matter the pressure, no matter anything, he knew poise. And he was good at Ohio State, but he never beat Michigan for a reason.
Right.
Jim
Harbaugh in that defense, man. Now, Mike McDonald, by the way, at the time, was shutting him down.
Thanks, man. Hey, I'm great job, guys. I appreciate it.
Make sure you come back. Make sure you come back for the next video when we do the season overview of, because I know you got a lot to say about players and position groups. And,
right. Thanks, man. I'll be back. When is it? Tuesday?
I'm gonna try to I'm gonna try to do it this weekend.
Okay, cool.
Because I'm gonna be busy this week because I'm in school, and working, and I'll be on travel too. So I'm gonna shoot for Saturday. Like I'm in a good time frame, like during the live.
Cool.
That way everybody can get involved.
All right. See y'all, man. Peace.
Appreciate it, man.
For me personally, like I said in the beginning, the offseason is gonna be very interesting. Like I stated before, I think if that Lewis is going to be OC, I think that'll be the last resort to keep everything in house. But I got to do a lot more research on a lot of these OCs, and to me, it just all depends on what it is Baker's going to do. But I have a funny feeling, for some odd reason, the OC that was with Philly. For some reason, I cannot remember his
Brian
name.
Johnson.
Yes, I have a feeling that he may be it.
You know what's gonna happen if that happens, right? That's the Florida Gator connection with Kyle Trask, and they're gonna. I'm telling you, you're gonna have a rabid base of Kyle Trask fans. Oh, we got Brian Johnson, start Kyle Trask.
Yeah, and the thing about that is, it's not I don't dislike him or anything. I just would love to see him get a shot, only for the simple fact we drafted him. But if he's not gonna be our quarterback and he goes to a different team, I'm not really gonna care that much. But but you're on my team, so I gotta support you one way or another. But yeah, man. Thank you guys. Thank you, Bucos, for letting me get on. I'll see you guys next time.
All right, make sure you come back.
I will. All right.
Big Buck, man. I know you got something to say about this, man.
Yeah, the way I see it, man, is this is a very important decision. This will pretty much dictate the direction where the team is going. So it's going to be very big. I don't know how Bowles will approach it. But I mean, as I said earlier, the option is go with a young OC and build and draft the quarterback and build it up itself. That's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But also somebody said Frank, what's his name? Frank White.
Frank Wright. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, there's several options. I just don't know which direction they would go. But
tough to figure it out, right?
Yeah, but my thing is, you go with the hot hand, and everything under the Shanahan tree is the direction everybody's going.
Mm-hmm.
So with that said, I would look at what's the two dudes they got coming in, Jason Peets and Johnson. I would say narrow it down to those two. I mean, I understand Baker's familiar with a West Coast offense, but it's just a matter of him understanding the terminology and can he make the right reads and checks and stuff like that, blocking schemes. So we'll just see what happens. I mean, as far as the Brian Johnson situation, if he came here, I feel like he would bring DeAndre Swift with him, and they'll go your second back right there, him and Rashad White. But my concern would be the interior O-line if you're not going to address that. But I don't really have a preference at this point, but I would like to see the guy from Houston, honestly, because you just seen the work with CJ Stroud. let's see what he can do over here with a promotion. So that's the direction I would go.
Right.
Just off what you saw CJ Stroud look like. So
Remember now, Gerard Johnson was under Bobby Slowick. That was the OC, the Kyle Shanahan's right-hand man. And he was under him for a season. So he got a chance to see. He's been with Kevin O'Connell, who came from McVay, which is attached to Kyle Shanahan. See how this works?
yeah, everything's under Shanahan. Like, I mean, like I said, man, this is going to be very important. Like everyone has said, this either set you up for the next, couple of years, or it'll set you back. And I gotta repeat what Buddy said. If you got another OC that had like a 1-year wonder, you hit 8, 9, 10 games in that stretch, I could see the Bucs doing a scenario where, hey, Todd, thank you, but we're gonna move on for him. We don't want to lose him again. I can see that as a scenario.
True.
I really can, but that's why I said earlier, would Bowles be kind of, I don't know what the word would be. Like he on edge with who he wants to hire because, hey, this guy could replace me if there's some kind of success. I'm sorry.
If the Bucs offense becomes successful, well, to be honest with you, the next guy doesn't have to be like super elite. It just be better than Dave Canales. You know what I'm saying? Like, the bar set low, but because fans believe like this was the greatest season they've ever seen because Baker had his career year and they jumping up and down for that.
I mean, if they just come out and run the ball well next year, what they gonna say?
I know, right?
I mean, where the run game just come alive next year, what you gonna be hooting and hollering for?
I'm gonna be looking over across the bow, looking at Canales, and I'm like, oh, okay.
So, but that's my 2 cents, man. When you do the second video, man, I might miss that on Saturday because all my sons have basketball game. It's tournament time. So
AAU.
No, this is actually rec ball. They all in the tournament. Most of them are like for number 1 seed, so they pretty much all make it to Saturday and play in the championship game. So depending on what time you do it, I probably have some earbuds in listening to it. I don't know if I can jump on from.
It's gonna be a good video because I know a lot of people have a lot to say about the position groups, the players in particular, what's next, or how they look currently, what's next, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get a ton of names as far as out of the college ranks in interior O-line. Well, I don't think I'm gonna get many there because I don't think people pay attention to that, but definitely pass rusher and running back, possibly receiver.
I mean, like you've been saying, I've been pounding this for the last 3 years. Hey, build up the trenches. That's all I think they need to focus on at this point.
Absolutely. I mean, I've been pounding that since 2016.
Oh, side note, you saw your boy Donovan Smith talking noise, man.
I know, man.
I like you. Sorry,
we're on a team with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, man. You can stick Cody Mulch and Matt Freer and Aaron Stiney on that, and they'll still go somewhere. When it gets to these levels, it comes down to the coaching quarterback. That's the separation.
Yeah.
And when I look at Bowles and Baker, possible another season, that's not going anywhere.
I mean, but are they going to try? I mean, but going forward, do you think they're going to try to link Bowles and Baker together now going forward? Like they just going to try to link them together.
Oh, I mean, if they do, I mean, I might not totally agree with it, but I'm a rock with it.
I mean, that's what I think, but I just don't want the Bucs to, get crazy and be like, oh, we got to sign. I'm like, dude, nobody's going to sign. Like, I would be very, like, I can't see a scenario where a team would want to sign him. They may talk to him, but I just can't see no team throwing a bag at him.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I can't wait.
I can't wait to see talk, but I don't think it'll go anywhere.
I can't wait to see these this line of suitors ready to pay Baker a ton of money. I can't wait to see this. I can't wait. I'm watching closely too.
If he signs with any team, I say it here now, I'll be the first to say, hey, I was wrong. I ain't think I would be the first one to say it. I would turn my camera on and come on live and say that.
Matter of fact, I will be the first to say if a team's not here and they give him a bag, like the bag.
I doubt that, but I doubt that, but I'm with you on that.
But Daniel Jones got a bag. Daniel Jones got a bag.
They on the verge. They could cut him. They can move on from that contract the way it's structured.
Yep.
They can move on, and they may possibly take another quarterback.
Jalen Daniels possibly Michael Penix.
I mean, that's another messed up situation. Everybody know he shouldn't have got paid.
But remember now, Giants did that. They was bidding against themselves, dummies.
I mean, like I said, Buffalo. Everybody saw how important Brian Daboll was with Josh Allen. You see how ordinary he fell off since he left. So I mean, it's just. But it's Todd Bowles and his connection. So I'm gonna just leave it at that, man. Looking forward to hearing your next show, man. Y'all have a good night.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, Big Buck.
Yeah.
So there you have it, folks. Who will the next OC be for the Bucs? The reality situation, as of right now, we have no clue. Names have been thrown out there, possible interviews. I haven't seen any like official interviews from the Bucs. I've seen some names pop up. Maybe I didn't see a couple articles, whatever. But as of right now, the names that were popping up, 3 of those names have gotten jobs. Zach Robinson with the Falcons, Ken Dorsey with the Browns, Kellen Moore with the Eagles. So it's like, oh boy, with the we out here scraping the middle of the barrel now. You know, we not Eric Bieniemy's out there, but I don't think we're gonna touch him for whatever reasons. You know, I get it. But this is a concerning time for Bucs fans because we were kind of hyped up going into the second season with Canales and Baker, a little jump there, you know, made some improvements, some adjustments, another draft. But 2 steps forward, 3 steps back. We're back at the same scenario that we were in 2023 in the offseason. No OC. But it just comes down to a lot of factors. What OC want to play with Coach Baker? As you can see, the top OCs available, the ones that's been productive, got jobs. One with the Browns, one with the Eagles, and one with the Falcons because he was a quarterback coach and he worked with Raheem Morris. And the Falcons have a bright future, really good defense. They got to get a quarterback. They got some good skill players with 2 running backs. They got Drake London, and they got Kyle Pitts. You know what I'm saying? So they got some weapons. And that's a good position for OC, a quarterback coach moving to OC to go into. If I was Zach Robinson, I would not come to the Bucs in this particular situation. I need to go to a situation where I have a clear direction. Ken Dorsey, a veteran coordinator, former University of Miami quarterback. He went to the Browns. The Browns got a top defense. They got some good offense pieces. Nick Chubb was hurt, but he's going to make a full recovery. Deshaun Watson. They got some good receiver. You know what I'm saying? They got tight ends. They got a good O-line. That's a better situation than the Bucs, right? And then you got Kellen Moore. He chose the Eagles. That's a good situation to be in as far as roster, talent, whatever the case may be. I don't believe in the head coach now. I don't think he's the great head coach, but I understand why Kellen Moore chose the Eagles. And none of them, if I'm not correct me if I'm not wrong, but I don't think any of them really came to the Bucs to interview. The name was popped up, but no official visits. They picked the job. They off the market, right? And what's left is Eric Bieniemy and some other candidates, veteran OCs. But then you got some quarterback coaches, which it seems to be the hot thing now. Get your quarterback coach and you roll with that. So looking forward to seeing what the Bucs do offensively, and whoever they hire, we all got to hit the film session and see how that offense look, right? What he was in. If he was an OC, how does he call plays? We might have to watch some video. If he's a quarterback coach, who was the quarterback? You know what I'm saying? So, but if it's Brian Johnson, I mean, all right, we saw him at Philly. You know, Philly had a better offense than us, scoring wise. So they just fell apart. That was a coach problem. But with that being said, and I'm gonna say this last thing when it comes to the OC and whoever wants to work with Baker. As of right now, and I think about 12, 13 days, 11 days, something like that, Baker will be an official like free agent unless they like sign him to a contract to avoid like a cap hit, whatever. It was something like that. I don't know when they're going to sign Baker. I hope they don't rush to sign him. If they do sign him, or when they do sign him, either or, it is what it is, right? But I just do not see all these suitors lining up for Baker. That's a media-driven narrative, and I'm not falling for it until I see otherwise. So, we're bidding against ourselves for Baker, man. We're bidding against ourselves. I just got a funny feeling the Bucs they think that people want to get him, and they're gonna panic and pay him a ton of money. And it's positioning, it's negotiations, and his agent saying, "Oh, the Broncos want to sign Baker. What y'all gonna do, Tampa?" I hope the Bucs don't fall for that. It's tactics, right? It's salesman tactics, right? Snake oil, as Sal say, snake oil. They're gonna sell the Bucs snake oil and act like all these teams want to sign him. And the Bucs gonna be like, no, 3-year, $110 million, Baker. Here you go. So, what is Moxie? Matter of fact, that's gonna be my hashtag. I need somebody to actually give me a tangible definition. Something I can touch. Not no made up word to make somebody feel good or look good. The Moxie. Anyway, shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Thank you for joining us live stream. Had a good time with everybody. I know some of us is frustrated. Don't be frustrated. The Bucs will hopefully figure this out. Jason Light, Todd Bowles, and the Minions get the right OC and get this franchise back on track, right? But we are the division champions, so NFC South champions. So we good there, 3 in a row. With that being said, fire those cannons, seize the day, raise the flag. Hashtag Moxie. Hashtag Life After Brady. Hashtag Pay Mike. Hashtag Shake and Bake. Hashtag Don't Get Mad at Me. I don't play the game. I just talk about it. Hashtag Facts Over Feelings. Hashtag Trenches Matter. Hashtag Probability versus Possibility. Hashtag The Reality over Optimism. Hashtag Why. Hashtag What are we doing? Hashtag What is this? What is this? Where are we going? I'll see y'all this weekend. Oh, as a definition, I get it. GM's thick clay, I get it. I'm out. I'll see y'all hopefully this weekend, and we're gonna have a lot to talk about. So, peace out. Oh.